Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Pirates. Starting Holy Lord Template, Executing the Celestial Dragons. Chapter 1. Haiyuan Calendar Year 1516. Sabayati Islands. At the slave auction site, people were talking and laughing about which slave to auction. There is a young man sitting calmly and silently in a cage backstage. Boy, what's your name? How did you get caught? The old man sitting in the cage beside him was still drinking calmly even though he was tied up with chains. Yi Zhou, what about you? Why were you captured? Yi Zhou couldn't see clearly the old man in the darkness, but felt that his voice was very kind. The chain around his neck would explode if he tried to escape, leaving no hope of escape. If I lose the bet, I will sell myself as a bargaining chip, ha 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 ha. The old man smiled happily. He couldn't remember how many times he was auctioned off as a slave. Yi Zhou didn't speak, he was waiting for the opportunity. Until a character panel flashed and appeared in front of him. Zudian role-playing system is generating a character panel for host Yi Zhou. Character generation. Plane. Pirate world. Time. Haiyuan calendar year 1516. Character. Holy Lord. Player. Yi Zhou. Characteristics. None. Talent. Body of the Holy Lord convert at will, full status. Skill. 12 talismans unlocked, concept level. Summon. Shadow core unlocked. Noble phantasm. History book of time unlocked. Yi Zhou was not in a hurry, waiting for the role-playing system update task. Host plays the role of an ordinary human in his first life. Main mission. Spending a lonely life has been completed. Get permanent reward. Photographic memory characteristic. Photographic memory of all learned knowledge and skills. Refreshing the main mission. Executing a Draco on the streets of the Sabayati Islands. Mission reward. Shadow Core Samurai. This time, Yi Zhou breathed a sigh of relief after confirming everything. His eyes lit up slightly, recalling that he lived 99 years before dying of natural causes in his sleep in his previous life. Play your role all your life. Yi Zhou accumulated countless knowledge, skills, and fighting skills throughout his life. From traditional martial arts to ring sparring, unlimited street fighting, all types of firearms, bows and arrows, swords and sticks are all at your fingertips. He was still doing Tai Chi the morning before he died. In order to complete the system tasks, Yi Zhou stayed single all his life. If Yuanyang is guarded, he will live a long life, but he always feels that something is missing. Yi Zhou swore that what he lacked in his previous life would be made up for in this life. Next, number 13, a human male, very young, unknown name, very handsome, you can buy it back as a male pet. Yi Zhou stood up, with number 13 hanging around his neck. Young man, do you need my help? The white-haired old man asked again. No, I can do it myself. Yi Zhou stood up and walked out of the cage dragging the chain. Cheers rang out and the curtain was opened by the owner of the auction house. The dazzling light hit his eyes. Where are the celestial dragons? Yi Zhou saw the crowds of people at the auction, and some nobles immediately raised their auction signs and gave their prices. 300,000 Baileys. The owner of the auction house caught everyone's attention with his voice. Everyone looked around and saw a woman on the stage who was protected by guards. She was wearing a large protective suit and an oxygen mask on her head. She looked very beautiful. Celestial dragons. Seeing this scene, no one dared to snatch Yi Zhou's ownership. Nani, no one has snatched it. It's really boring. The man with a runny nose next to him was dressed similarly, but he had a runny nose and looked stupid. Their father sat in the middle, looking indifferent. The celestial dragons are so domineering. Dragon people. After Yi Zhou adapted to the lighting, he identified the 3 Tianlong people on the audience stage at a glance. Don't go down yet. The owner of the auction house shouted angrily to Yi Zhou. Good. Yi Zhou has read countless animations and novels in his life. He had only one word to comment on the Tianlong people. Kill. Walking on the road, Yi Zhou adapted to his own strength. He knew the power of the 12 talismans very well. The power of each spell is well understood. And being the body of the Holy Lord means powerful strength, speed, defense, endurance, and healing. With the addition of 12 talismans, it becomes an unprecedented phantom beast species without any side effects. With a movement of his 5 fingers, Yi-Jo felt his hands and feet feel comfortable. He can switch between human and holy body at will. Almost got it. Yi-Jo grabbed the chain around his neck with both hands. With a click, the powerful power of the Ox Talisman destroyed it. The speed of the rabbit charm made Yi-Jo throw it out immediately. Boom! The chain was immediately thrown in front of the Tianlong people. The sound of explosion instantly made everyone start to flee in panic. The guards looked like they were facing an enemy. However, they couldn't even see clearly who the enemy was. Boom! After punching out, Yi-Jo stopped his hands and feet. Beat to death, Yi-Jo looked to the side again, and saw that the female celestial dragon had been killed immediately. He punched an old man to death again. If he hadn't restrained his hands and feet just now, even the other slug would have been eliminated. The mission requirement is to execute a celestial dragon on the streets of the Sabayati Islands. If you kill him so easily, you won't be rewarded by the system. It is very troublesome to recruit too many boys on the sea, but it will be much easier if there is a Black Shadow Corps. I am Saint Charlos, a celestial dragon. If you dare to touch me, you will be hunted down by General Marine. Saint Charlos shouted incoherently. I know, if I kill you, you can get General Marine's greetings. Yi-Jo lifted it up with one hand and looked at the dead female celestial dragon with some pity. It's a pity, the celestial dragons are not impossible. Base. Regrettably, the guards quickly attacked. Yi-Jo had the speed of Rabbit Talisman and powerful fighting skills, so he naturally avoided it at the first opportunity. You are too weak. Boom. The laser in his eyes burst out immediately, and the pig talisman directly strung the Tianlong guards into strings. Young people really don't need the help of an old guy like me. At the auction, Rayleigh tore through the iron sheet and walked out calmly. He glanced at the empty auction house and left calmly. Today's young people are energetic. Off the field. Yi-Jo rose up in the air, holding street. Charles, who had already peed his pants in one hand, while looking for a crowded street. You like buying slaves very much. It's not bad. Saint Charlos had lost his confidence after all the guards died, and his heart beat rapidly, getting faster and faster. Yi-Jo remembered that a few years later, this guy also bought slaves in the Sabayati Islands but was beaten up by Luffy. Is it okay for you to die here? Yi-Jo picked a place with the most people. Street. Charles was thrown away casually and fell half to death. Killed. That seems to be a celestial dragon. Is he crazy? The general will take action if he disobeys the heaven-defying dragon. Both pirates and normal people began to run away like crazy. Only Morgan's men were hiding in the corner filming. Boom. The power of the dragon talisman exploded, instantly turning Saint Charlos into ashes. Mission completed. Execution of celestial dragons. Mission reward. Shadow Corps Samurai. The system panel refreshes quickly. Yi-Jo felt a brand new power and summoned the Black Shadow Corps. The main mission has been refreshed. Resist any next attack, 2 hours countdown. Task reward. Advanced knowledge and domineering predicting the future. Not bad. Yi-Jo stepped over the remains of the Tianlong people. He was still worried that he would be very distressed if he was awarded Marine 6 Type 1. He has practiced various martial arts, fighting skills, and killing techniques all his life. No fighting skills are required at all. Come, Shadow Corps. Yi-Jo held his palm, and under the eaves and behind the wall, shadow ninjas jumped out one by one. The samurai shadow troops wear armor and hold long swords. They are strong in offense and defense, but have shortcomings in speed and sensitivity. Thousands of shadow warriors knelt on one knee in front of Yi-Jo. Block any enemies that come next. The black shadows of the warriors all stood up, preparing for the enemy that would appear at any time. Boom! Artillery and gunfire sounded, and the flames exploded in an unstoppable way. What they will face is the undead existence, the Black Shadow Corps. You are so audacious, you dare to kill even the celestial dragons. We just need to block him. Don't let this guy escape. The general will come. You pirate who doesn't understand the rules. The Marines had already surrounded the streets with water. When they saw the dark shadow warriors, they swallowed their saliva out of instinctive fear. Bullets flew out, and the shadow warriors' armor blocked them all. This sword is enough to cut off iron sheets. Even a musket can't stop this kind of iron-cutting blade. Where did they come from? How dare the worried sailors continue to move forward? Let me do it. Zan Momomaru knocked down the giant axe and suppressed a shadow warrior. He is a domineering man. More than a dozen shadow warriors instantly surrounded Zan Momomaru. How many can you hit? Yi-Jo glanced at him and didn't bother to pay attention at all. Same moment. The Sabayati Islands are full of shadow warriors. Yi-Jo is not showing off, he is just trying to master this power. Run away quickly, the dark monster pirates have appeared. What happened and why so many marines came? Aren't these armored pirates going to die? One fell down and the other stood up. Yi-Jo became increasingly proficient in mastering the samurai shadow core. All marines on the Sabayati Islands took action, fighting against the endless shadows of samurai. What you trample on is the justice of this world. Zan Taowen struck down with an axe, feeling exhausted all over his body. These shadow warriors really couldn't kill him, but he couldn't really kill the shadow warriors either. It's only been 10 minutes. Yi-Jo yawned. The 2-hour mission countdown is still very early. If you have the guts, don't use the power of this devil fruit and fight me head on. Zan Taowen roared angrily. In his opinion, Yi-Jo could only summon such countless shadow warriors by using devil fruit. Fight with me. Are you worthy? Yi-Jo walked towards him and stretched out his hand. The bursting flames instantly turned into a pillar of fire. Boom! Zan Momomaru was holding an axe, and his armed color and domineering energy covered him with all his strength to block the blow. Why can't you stop it? Base. Yi-Jo looked at Zan Taowen with his eyes, and the laser was activated in an instant. This is the old man's power. Zan Taowen was breathing heavily. He was no match for Yi-Jo. Show me what domination is. Yi-Jo instantly appeared in front of Zan Taowen. The palm of his hand turned into a dragon's claw, and the power of the ox talisman exploded. Click. The blade of the axe was in pieces. It seems that your dominance is not strong enough. Yi-Jo just had the body of the Holy Lord plus the increase in power from the ox talisman. How could Momomaru stand in the way of a mere battle? Who are you? Zan Taomaru felt a sense of frustration. He could only stare at Yi-Jo's back in despair. It's still a year before Fire Fist Ace goes to sea, and the pacifists are still far away. Yi-Jo was protected by layers of shadow warriors and talked to himself. He arrived a little early, hoping the system would give him some interesting tasks. Whoosh! Oh, what kind of monster is this? A lazy voice appeared. Zan Taowen looked up with joy. A figure was hanging in the air, looking down at Yi-Jo, who was like a shadow emperor. Old man. Zan Taomaru felt that he saw hope. 8-foot beautiful Magatama. Kizaru's high-speed rotation condenses the flash into pieces of light jade, which fly out at extremely fast speeds to increase its destructive power. Boom, boom. The shadow warriors disappeared one by one. Yi-Jo wasn't worried at all, it was just a matter of clapping his hands. The stroke jade is really a good skill for clearing the place. Success. Zan Momomaru thought that Kizaru had the upper hand and easily solved the shadow that he could not eliminate. Laser kick. After clearing the field, Kizaru didn't hesitate for a moment and launched a flying kick. The toes flashed and kicked at high speed. Rabbit. Yi-Jo stepped on the ground and activated the rabbit charm. As soon as his feet hit the ground, they turned into an afterimage. Didn't the kick hit? Kizaru didn't expect Yi-Jo to be so fast. My supersonic speed is real, your light speed is fake. Yi-Jo quickly appeared in front of Kizaru. Kizaru, have you ever been kicked by supersonic? The chicken charm floats, the rabbit charm accelerates, and the cow charm powers. The three combined into one is this supersonic explosive kick. Boom. Kizaru did not dodge the kick, but his whole body was split into two halves. Whoosh. The light came together in an instant. Kizaru stood up and looked at Yi-Jo with some surprise. Have you not awakened your haki? He was confused. Regardless of the strength, the speed alone surprised him. But Yi-Jo's flying kick just now was not domineering. It's really strange. Speed is power. Yi-Jo said Kizaru's lines. That's really bad. You have speed and strength, and you can indeed fight against strong men with domineering power. But it can't attack me as a shining person. Quote. Kizaru smiled and the light jade in his hand condensed into a long sword. A sideways dive. Strike Yi-Jo in the middle with a sword. Tian Zong Yun sword. Whoosh. Yi Zhou's whole body transformed into the body of the Holy Lord, and his tall body looked down at Huang Yuan. One arm blocked the blow, but he was still hit by the lightsaber. The dog talisman will not kill you, and the horse talisman will cure you. The injuries healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. It seems have been underestimated. Yi Zhou doesn't have armed domineering power, so he really can't attack the Kizaru entity. But his methods have never been limited to physical combat. Rise. House after house is disconnected from its foundation. Yi Zhou stood in the air, opened his hands and used the chicken charm to levitate hundreds of houses around him. Go. Houses one after another hit Kizaru. He opened his mouth to vomit, and activated the explosive flames with both hands at the same time. The lasers in his eyes are intertwined with the flame breath and explosive flames. Is it a phantom beast? It's a form I've never heard of. For the first time, Kizaru did not have an advantage in speed. He really didn't expect so many powerful attack methods. Then let's name it dragon fruit, phantom beast species, and Holy Lord form. Yi Zhou stood condescendingly, blowing smoke from his mouth. 8-foot mirror. At the critical moment, Kizaru must avoid the attack as quickly as possible and further pursue Yi Zhou. He refracted several times in the sky and appeared at Yi Zhou's original location. According to common sense, this is the ultimate in attack and movement speed. How could it be predicted in advance by Yi Zhou, who is so domineering and ignorant? Are you wondering where I am? Yi Zhou's voice appeared on the ground. Snake charm makes you invisible. Coupled with the high-speed moving rabbit charm, it is a silent existence. Fighting is indeed the best way to become stronger. If I can capture your true form, I really want to use the sheep charm to make your soul leave the body. Quote. Yi Zhou clenched his fists. Hundreds of houses suddenly crashed into Kizaru. Huang Yuan escaped as quickly as possible and slashed at Yi Zhou with one sword. Just as you use magic to deal with magic, you should also use hockey to deal with ability users. Yi Zhou snapped his fingers. Thousands of shadow warriors stood up from the darkness and jumped towards Kizaru. It's ridiculous, this kind of attack is impossible to be effective against the old man. Zan Taowen sneered. The next moment he turned into a pig. The monkey charm can turn yourself or others into anything. Yi Zhou touched Xiaoju Zan Taowen's head. Wait until Kizaru arrives and become invisible again. In the invisible state, Yi Zhou went around every corner in one breath and turned all the sailors into orangutans. It's very good. If you send it to Hawkeye, it should make it stronger. After Yi Zhou finished his evaluation, he appeared. Kizaru saw the moment when he paused. It turned into a flash of light and swooped over. I only said half of the previous sentence. Yi Zhou was so fast that even the afterimage disappeared and appeared on the other side of the street. The horse talisman provides physical recovery and super healing, so you won't feel tired at all. Coupled with the dog charm of immortality, he will always be at his peak. What exactly is your fruit ability? Is there any purpose you want to achieve by killing the celestial dragons? For reputation, or to vent anger? Kizaru stood opposite Yi Zhou. He did not continue to attack, which was meaningless. It's better to seize the opportunity to find out all of Yi Zhou's abilities now. In Kizaru's eyes, Yi Zhou possesses an extremely powerful and extremely developed phantom beast devil fruit. Terrifying speed, strength, and vitality. It can also erupt fire, laser light, make objects float, and even turn them into animals, summoning shadow warriors. It looks like a fused version of many powerful devil fruits. Are you tired? Yi Zhou looked at Huang Yuan. In fact, he hadn't had enough fun yet. I don't know if the object would still be alive if the rat charm gave it vitality. It stands to reason that if there is a dog talisman, Yi Zhou will be immortal. Furthermore, without the rat talisman, the Holy Lord just turned into a sculpture, and was decomposed by Lope using a spell. Yi Zhou used a monkey charm to transform a house on the roadside into the shape of a two-winged dragon. He also used the rat charm to give him vitality. Whoosh! The two-winged dragon even breathed out fire. Sure enough, my 12 talismans are pure abilities and have no side effects. What Yi Zhou didn't expect was that dragons would also be recognized as animals by the monkey charm. After giving the rat charm the vitality, he himself will not be affected in any way. Yi Zhou, who was sitting on the back of the two-winged fire dragon, waved his finger. Thousands of shadow warriors slashed at Kizaru tirelessly with their swords. Huge houses kept hitting Kizaru. Admiral Marine is really powerful, but it's a pity that he can't hurt me. Yi-Jo patted the two-winged fire dragon to make it invisible, allowing Kizaru to pounce again. I saw all of my subordinates turned into animals. But he couldn't attack Yi-Jo's body. Kizaru said. Everyone, step back. All the orangutans fled away instantly and turned into animals, but their thoughts were still human. 8-foot beautiful Magatama. Kizaru will attack indiscriminately. I don't believe that I can't attack Yi-Jo who is hiding inside. The sky filled with jade bursts the bubbles in the Sabayati Islands one after another. He shot down the shadow warriors who came towards him one by one, and smashed the houses one by one. Yi-Jo then slowly appeared. Which of our lasers is stronger? Yi-Jo held the two-winged fire dragon and turned around to swoop down. The golden light burst out with great power on the spot. Boom! Kizaru stopped moving, and laser beams also burst out from his hands. The two are purely a collision of energy. One from the demon wizard. One is from a devil fruit. At this time, a pig was hiding in the arms of a group of orangutans, watching this scene blankly. Too strong. From the beginning to the end, Yi-Jo showed that he was able to face the general with ease. If not for meeting Logia, even the domineering and powerful ones are unable to fight against Yi-Jo. Zan Momomaru's armored and domineering sword was also destroyed by the tyrannical force. Absolute speed and power are the truth of this sea. Can't your eyes explode with lasers? This sentence reminded Kizaru of the previous scene where Yi-Jo was at full strength. I can. Yi-Jo's hands suddenly burst out with power, but it was just a powerful explosion that would cause an explosion. There is still one. As soon as he closed his mouth, he opened it again and breathed out fire. Face this scene. Kizaru can only transform into Logia elements and will no longer go head-to-head with others. Wait until his whole body is reorganized. Yi-Jo patted the two-winged fire dragon's head to take back all its life force. Landed on the ground. Yi-Jo just thinks it's boring. This is the world of pirates. Among the animals, there are not only normal animals, but also ancient species and even phantom species. Follow the rules of the pirate world. The forms of animal devil fruits are all animals, including phantom beast species. If you want to know if the monkey charm is so powerful in the pirate world, you have to give it a try. Yi-Jo's muscles all over his body exploded instantly. He first transformed into a standing orc form, a leopard. Roblouch's devil fruit. Then it was replaced by a tall mammoth. Drought Jack's power. After adapting to all this, Yi-Jo finally understood. It seems that the monkey talisman can really turn into any animal recognized by the animal devil fruit in the pirate world. He raised his head and looked at Kizaru, counting down the remaining 1 hour of the mission. Finally found something fun, different from normal animal devil fruits. The shape the monkey charm takes has no side effects. Then, let's start with one you are familiar with. The corners of Yi-Jo's mouth rose, and his whole body expanded rapidly. Phantom beasts are also animals. Wow! The golden light flashed, and Yi-Jo looked down at Kizaru like a golden giant. Animal human fruit, phantom beast species, giant Buddha form. Nani. This time, Kizaru couldn't help but break out a drop of cold sweat on his face. What kind of monster is he fighting? Take the move. Yi-Jo punched out, and a powerful golden light shockwave erupted. Kizaru held the Tianzongyan sword in both hands to block it with all his strength. Yi-Jo finally understood. No wonder the character panel of the system introduces that the 12th talisman is a concept level. This is simply too conceptual. Far away, Rayleigh, who was sitting on the hill, was stunned when he saw the scene in front of him. Where did this kid come from? No wonder even the Tianlong people can kill them whenever they want. With this strength, as long as they are not trapped by the Sea Tower Stone, they can move anywhere in the world. Yi-Jo transformed into the form of a giant Buddha, and a shockwave erupted from his fist. What kind of ability is it? Kizaru couldn't see through Yi-Jo's fruit ability. Are there still people in this world who can use different devil fruit abilities at will? It looks like it was copied. Clone. Kizaru had some guesses in his mind. Could it be that he is really copying other people's devil fruit abilities? If this is the case, Yi-Jo's threat level will also be greatly increased. Whoosh. Kizaru held the Tianzongyan sword and left the attack range of the shock wave. The attack power and defense power of the Buddha form are extremely strong. However, it is much slower in speed, and this is his advantage. Huang Yuan held a lightsaber and slashed at Yi Zhou's head. Meaningless, Yi Zhou was at the moment when Kizaru left the attack range of the shock wave. His whole body transformed, and wings sprouted in an instant. He flapped his wings and flew in midair, looking calmly at Kizaru who was slashing at him with his sword. The lightsaber slashed through, and Yi Zhou's head was cut open in an instant. However, the blue flame burst out and healed the injury in an instant. Bird fruit, phantom beast species, phoenix form. The phoenix's super powerful immortal flame. Combined with the immortal dog charm and the super healing horse charm. In exchange for a more terrifying recovery speed. How many abilities did you copy? Kizaru understood that the two of them were now in the same state. Yi Zhou's unarmed haki couldn't attack his elemental body. Kizaru can attack Yi Zhou, and every inch of the flame is the entity of the phoenix. It's just that unless it is wiped out in an instant and all stamina is exhausted, it will no longer be able to use the immortal flame. Otherwise, you can still resurrect with full health. Clone, Yi Zhou knew that his conceptual monkey charm had been misunderstood by Kizaru. It just so happened that he didn't bother to explain. 8-foot beautiful Magatama. Kizaru opened fire again, and this time he accurately threw all the light jade on Yi Zhou. If Marco the Phoenix were standing here in person, he would definitely use defensive moves. Yi Zhou didn't care, he could just experience the level of recovery speed of immortal flame. Chua, the light jade flew by, and Yi Zhou's body instantly became riddled with holes. He recovered immediately and healed immediately. The blue immortal flame and the light jade fight with each other. I don't know if Marco's move to greet you personally will exhaust his energy. Anyway, I won't. But the pain is still there. Yi Zhou smiled, his whole face was destroyed. However, the immortal flame wrapped around the neck in an instant and recovered immediately. The rapidly spinning Kizaru finally stopped attacking. Meaningless, it seems like this is the only way. Kizaru did not give up, he came with a flying kick, and after the laser light accelerated, he decisively covered his feet with armed haki. Kizaru, who was evaluated by Zephyr as the most dependent on devil fruit, had to use his haki to attack Yi Zhou. As long as you are a user with fruit abilities, you will also suffer trauma if you are attacked by an entity. Boom, a flying kick comes. Yi Zhou smiled happily. This was the moment he had been waiting for. Kizaru uses his armed color haki to reveal his true form. He cannot dodge, otherwise he will lose this best attack moment. Boom, Yi Zhou's body suddenly fell to the ground at this moment. He turned on the Buddha form again. The head was hit by this flying kick. The rabbit charm and the ox charm accelerate the fist and increase the strength. The shock wave exploded and actually hit Kizaru's body. Boom, Yi Zhou felt a little dizzy. But he recovered before he could feel it. The defensive power of the Buddha form is greatly increased, and the horse charm will heal the injury immediately. Huang Yuan would never have thought that Yi Zhou was not an esper at all. Such an attack would be pointless from the start. Only with absolute power can Yi Zhou be defeated. What a monster. 3 times, he used the 8-foot Chong Magatama and the Tianzong Yun sword in his hand at all times, in order to attack Kizaru as quickly as possible while Yi Zhou was in a high-speed state for a long time. At this time, everyone was surprised by Yi Zhou's powerful strength. It's really rare to be able to develop devil fruit abilities to this extent without any domineering power. It's a pity that if you kill a celestial dragon, you won't be accepted by Marine. Kizaru stood up and looked at Yi Zhou in the sky again. At this time, Yi Zhou once again transformed into the form of a phoenix, with a smile on his face. Oops, there are only 5 minutes left. Yi Zhou was pleasantly surprised. The long battle had reduced the countdown to only 300 seconds. Is there a time limit for your perverted fruit ability? Kizaru felt that he had found a blind spot, and as long as he persisted, he could defeat Yi Zhou. I think you misunderstood. This means that in another 5 minutes, you will completely lose your advantage. Yi Zhou told the truth, but how could Huang Yuan believe it? Yeah, the Tianzongyan sword is once again condensed in his hand. Kizaru firmly believed that Yi Zhou's abnormal fruit ability would disappear in 5 minutes. 8-foot mirror. Strike again at full speed. Slashes, laser beams, and laser kicks continued to attack Yi Zhou. The immortal flames healed them one by one, not taking it seriously at all. Yi Zhou didn't expect that Huang Yuan would be so serious. Nothing like his usual calm demeanor. Ding. Mission completed. Resist all attacks. Countdown is over. Task reward. Advanced knowledge and domineering predicting the future. The system panel does not stay. Quickly refresh the interface. The main mission has been refreshed. Go to 9 Snake Island to establish your own pirate group. 5 hours countdown. Task reward. Supreme Knife First Generation Ghost Puzzle. Yi Zhou blinked to adapt to this new power. Advanced knowledge and domineering power can predict the future. This process lasted for a minute before Yi Zhou finally breathed out. As the time up, your movements have indeed stalled. Kizaru thought that the leaf burning was a side effect of the devil fruit. Many devil fruits have weaknesses, and in his opinion, this copying ability will also be limited. Sorry, I was thinking about life just now. Yi Zhou came to his senses and tried to dodge. Easily dodged. To be powerful and domineering, you also need to have the speed to match it. Only by working together can the two achieve their respective values. Yi Zhou happens to be both. When he looked at Kizaru again, he was no longer confused and no longer relied on instinct to avoid attacks. Every attack was accurately predicted by him, and he could also decipher the speed of the Holy Lord and the acceleration of the rabbit talisman, and quickly dodge it. Whoosh. How come? Only then did Huang Yuan realize that Yi Zhou was regularly avoiding his attacks. It was only confirmed after he was dodged one by one after his many attacks. Have you awakened the hockey of seeing and hearing? Is it the genius who awakened in a short battle, or has he been pretending to be a pig and eating the tiger, pretending that he doesn't know how to do it? Kizaru looked at Yi Zhou with growing fear, an opponent he couldn't kill, coupled with his extreme speed and powerful power of knowledge. Already enough to stand out among the heroes and become a real great pirate resounding in the new world. If I said I just woke up, would you believe me? Yi Zhou easily dodged all attacks. He seemed to see a glimpse of the future in his eyes. Whoosh. With a dodge, he appeared where Kizaru was originally standing. Kizaru just used the 8-foot mirror to break out. As a result, the two of them stood in the other's original position. It's interesting to predict the future. Yi Zhou looked up at Huang Yuan and clenched his fist. I can use the hockey of knowledge to find your true form. But without armed domineering, it is still impossible to truly capture it. Then there will be no point in fighting you any longer. Quote. After analyzing the pros and cons, Yi Zhou changed back to human form on the spot. You want to leave. Kizaru spent a lot of energy and failed to gain an advantage despite using all his moves. He even suffered injuries from a shock wave. Yi Zhou, on the other hand, was unscathed, killed 3 Tianlong people, and turned all the naval soldiers who besieged him into orangutans. Zhang Taowen turned into a pig even more pitifully. What else? I still have to form my own pirate group. I'll see you another day, Porisalino. Yi Zhou waved his hand. He still had to go to 9 Snake Island to establish a pirate group, so how could he stay there? This is a task with a countdown and needs to be completed within 5 hours. Yi Zhou, who had just arrived, didn't know the exact location of 9 Snakes Island. How could he have fun with Kizaru again? Chua. Huang Yuan slashed with his sword, trying to prevent Yi Zhou from leaving. While Yi Zhou ducked sideways, he formed a long line and appeared outside the ruins on the other side of the street. Don't try to escape. Kizaru had never been so angry. If Yi Zhou was allowed to escape so gracefully, he would not be able to eat for a long time. Of course, you still have to drink afternoon tea. Kizaru, you are too slow. Before Yi Zhou finished speaking, the snake charm made him invisible. Use the rabbit charm together with the chicken charm and it will disappear completely. 5 minutes later, Yi Zhou left a marine battleship with a permanent pointer in his hand. 9 Snake Island is located in the windless zone. The Poseidon class is like a barrier, and only warships with sea towers installed on the bottom of the ship can be driven at will. Yi Zhou doesn't worry about this at all, he can fly and his speed is very fast. Whoosh! A figure shot out of the sky, and by the time Kizaru arrived, it was already too late. Bulu Bulu. The phone bug's voice rang. Kizaru answered the phone, and on the other side was the voice of Marine Fleet Admiral Sengoku. How's it going? There is a guy who can copy other people's devil fruit abilities and is as strong as a monster. Kizaru complained helplessly. He used to say such things as a joke. Now I really encountered a monster. Just catch it. The Warring States period thought that Kizaru was joking as always, and that the man must have defeated and caught him. No, I ran away too fast. Kizaru himself didn't believe it when he said this. Hum hum. Zon Taowen shouted. Why is the pig squealing? Warring States looked puzzled. He couldn't accept what Kizaru said. Zon Momomaru was turned into a pig. Kizaru stopped explaining. He was tired. Let's talk about anything else until we get back to the headquarters. ... A sonic boom sounded. Yi-Jo arrived at 9 Snake Island as quickly as possible. A glance at the countdown is enough. The system mission is to establish a pirate group. It does not say that a pirate ship is needed, let alone a crew. Therefore, you only need to check in at 9 Snake Island and shout that the pirate group is established. This task is too easy. From now on, my pirate group is finally established. Ding. Mission completed. Establishing a pirate group on 9 Snake Island. Task reward. Supreme Knife First Generation Ghost Puzzle. Yi-Jo immediately had a knife in his hand. Red Continent, Marie Joya. The bald old man, one of the 5 elders, had nothing in his hands. He was stunned for a moment before he recovered. First generation Kitetsu disappeared out of thin air. ... The main mission has been refreshed. Inviting the Empress to go to sea, the first step is to express love, tell her, come to sea with me. Task reward. Swordsmanship Great Sword Master level. ... This reward is boring. I can also do swordsmanship. Even if there is a gap between the monsters in the pirate world. With my speed and strength, I can match the swordsmanship of the great swordsman. Quote. Yi-Jo shook his head. No dog would complete this kind of task. Task tip. The system is bound to the host. Each time you complete the role play in a world, you can obtain a permanent characteristic. I go. Yi-Jo felt like there were 10,000 wars and Taowen running through him. That's not the case, just keep your system roots. Yi-Jo, who had just formed a pirate group, chose to find his first crew member. 9 Snake Island. As the name suggests, the island has a large hollow mountain. There are 9 snake heads roaring up to the sky on the mountain. Yamanaka has city walls, fortifications, and the palace of Empress Hancock. 7 warlords of the sea, Empress Hancock, and everyone under her command possess domineering power. It can be used to cover sword blades and arrows. It can be said that all the people of Lily Kingdom are soldiers, and the strength of the 9 Snakes pirates cannot be underestimated. Yi-Jo followed the comic map in his memory and walked towards the gate of Lily Kingdom. No gate of opening. Yi-Jo, who was standing in the sky, became invisible for the first time. He did not intend to deal with the soldiers of 9 Snake Island. If you have this little time, it's better to go straight to Wonglong. Landing quietly, the invisible Yi-Jo walked on the street. The Empress was not seen at all. It should be in the bedroom. Lily Kingdom, full of women, is quite nice. They are bold, capable, and organized in everything they do, and are as outstanding as Yi-Jo. Walking past the guard, Yi-Jo came to the main hall. He didn't encounter a mosaic of pure coincidences like Luffy did. The Empress in the main hall was talking about some important matter with her 2 sisters and Za-Po, G.U. Luoliosa. Yi-Jo showed up, and he wanted to know what the next task of the system was. Yi-Jo appeared out of thin air and was immediately discovered by the Empress. Maromaluo, sweet and sweet. The hands are compared to the blow of the Empress of Love. The sweet fruit's love ray flies out and turns into a stone statue once it's hit. You dare to break into my country, you are so brave. Fortunately, Yi-Jo had high-level knowledge and domineering, so he had already anticipated this move. Avoid immediately. Would it be okay if he turned into a stone statue? Yi-Jo really became the Holy Lord. Let me say something first. Hancock, come to sea with me. Yi-Jo retreated decisively after shouting these words. When the Empress faces people who have no evil thoughts towards her, the fruit's petrification ability will be ineffective. Yi-Jo understood her the first time he saw her. He is far from such a high level. Mission completed. Inviting the Empress to go to sea, first step. Task reward. Swordsmanship Great Sword Master level. The main chain mission has been started. Inviting the Empress to go to sea, the second step is to act rationally, defeat the Empress forcefully. Mission reward. Advanced armed color hockey Lu Ying. In your understanding, is being moved by emotion such a violent thing? This is a wrong view. Yi Zhou's rebuke was of no use. He could only draw his sword and attack the Empress. Fortunately, it is a supremely sharp knife and the quality is not bad. He can also put some distance between himself and the Empress. Fragrant feet. A kick came, and Yi Zhou dodged immediately. The high-level knowledge and color domineering combined with his speed are unparalleled. I won't look at you. Pig spell, laser invincible electric eye. Yi Zhou really should eat a named fruit. Boom. In order not to look at the Empress, he simply erupted with lasers in his eyes. Use the domineering power of knowledge and color to predict danger, and then use the power of the rabbit charm to avoid it. Who are you? The Empress became angry, and Yi Zhou blasted 2 big holes in her palace. You can call me Yi Zhou, your captain. Yi Zhou smiled and signaled, but the laser in his eyes was still arrogant. I'm going to kick your glowing head into pieces. The Empress was wearing high heels, her long leg was on the ground with her right foot, and her left leg was kicked out horizontally. Big fragrant feet. Sorry, you can't kick. Yi Zhou shook his head and easily avoided the blow. There is no way, the domineering power and speed work well together. Wing Chun, Yi Zhou. There are no Marine 6 styles, and there are no fancy moves. One of the countless traditional martial arts that Yi Zhou learned in his previous life was Wing Chun. Boom. The fist became faster and faster, taking advantage of this gap to hit the Empress critically. Hancock, who received the blow, quickly dodged. Yi Zhou's small fist hit him just now and it was too painful. Captive arrow. The Empress pulled the heart and made a gesture to turn it into a bow and arrow. Whoosh. Countless arrows of love flew out. While Yi Zhou dodged away one by one, he didn't slack off at all. Snake charm makes you invisible. Rare eye laser is not used. In the invisible state, he relied on his knowledge, color and domineering power to find the Empress whereabouts. The rabbit charm goes well with the ox charm. He punched out, hitting the Empress right in the face. Boom. The powerful power of the Holy Lord's body is even more terrifying with the addition of the ox talisman. Even without armed domineering power, its destructive power is far beyond what ordinary people can match. The Empress was already attacking in a wide area. At the critical moment, he didn't have time to withdraw his strength. Yi Zhou took the opportunity to punch her in the face. The whole person leaned back, flew out, and fell on the wall. Elder sister. Elder sister. The 2 good sisters ran up immediately. They were surprised. With the Empress's strength, it was unheard of for someone to have such an advantage in speed. What's more, Yi Zhou is so menacing that I have never heard of it at all. The wooden walls were reduced to rubble. Empress Hancock's hands were like catkins and her fingers were like green onions, and she caught her in the ruins with a slight tremble. I'm going to cut you into pieces. She has never been so angry. Everyone on the sea surrenders to her beauty, and if she does this, she will be tricked. However, Yi Zhou didn't care about this, he only knew how to punch blindly, which was simply too cruel. Yi Zhou took a deep breath, appeared in front of the Empress instantly. He really couldn't suppress his inner thoughts. After all, she is a 99-year-old Hanako. However, as the system tasks are performed, it becomes clear with emotion and moved with reason. Yi Zhou's fist defeated the evil thoughts in his heart. He felt another kind of pleasure. Empress, she is beautiful and very good. But beating the Empress is more beautiful and better. Tai Chi, move, block and beat. Yi Zhou didn't hold back at all. Since there was no beep in the system, it meant that the task was not completed. Click. The Empress barely dodged the attack, and Yi Zhou's attack landed on the mountain behind the wall, immediately opening a hole. You are just relying on your own speed and strength. You are not really qualified to show off in front of me. The Empress, 3 colors of domineering power are fully activated, and Conqueror's domineering power brings powerful pressure. Yi Zhou turned around and kicked out. The Holy Lord and the 7 demons shared the blue star equally. How many small islands can you control with your Conqueror's domineering power? 12 Wei Tan legs. Boom. Yi Zhou, fearless of the Conqueror's domineering Empress, came with a flying kick. Big fragrant feet. The Empress returned the same kick. The two kicked and kicked faster and faster. Yi Zhou's attack moves are ever-changing and his attacks are swift and violent. His kicking is actually as good as my sister's. No, it's better in terms of strength and speed. The final blow was kicked from the Empress Tianling Dai. The floor shattered. Hancock was kicked from the top of the palace to the bottom on the spot. He smashed several ceilings in succession before falling to the ground. You shouldn't be dead, right? Yi Zhou landed. According to his memory, people in the pirate world are generally very hardworking. What is your purpose? Where do you come from? The Empress reluctantly stood up and wanted to fight Yi Zhou. The attacks were all resolved one by Yi Zhou. Tai Chi, hold the bird's tail. No matter how the Empress attacks, Yi Zhou can perfectly dodge it with the combination of speed and color. Snake fist, snake finger. Defeat the enemy with one move. Empress Hancock's physical strength was extremely exhausted, and she finally fell to the ground. This should be considered a defeat, right? Yi Zhou stood up, stopped his work, and patted the dust. After practicing martial arts and fighting skills for more than 80 years, I finally found some use. Ding. Mission completed. Inviting the Empress to go to sea, Step 2. Mission reward. Advanced Armed Color Hockey Lu Ying. The system interface refreshes quickly as always. Mainline chain mission. Invite the Empress to go to sea. The third step. Play hard to get, wait for the Empress to recover from her injuries, then decisively go to sea. Task reward. The demonic chi of fire full version. Yi Zhou was stunned for a moment, then he asked why he always felt that there was something wrong with him. The body of the Holy Lord exists, and the 12 talismans exist. It turns out that there is no demonic energy of fire, it can be said that there is only power and magic. You also need to have the magical energy of fire that can be given to others and also make your own flames and dragon transformation stronger. What else do you want to do? One of the two sisters quickly rescued the Empress, while the other tried to stop Yi Zhou. Shish. Yi Zhou glanced at the Empress. Her robe was severely torn due to the battle, causing the mark of the flying dragon's hoof to appear. He snapped his fingers and simply made the Empress and himself invisible together. The escorting soldiers quickly entered the palace. All they saw was the broken ceiling and the Empress's two sisters. Recalling the horrific battle just now, I really shuddered. However, there was no Empress in the entire palace. Nothing happened here, we were just practicing, said the middle sister Poya Sundasonia. They already understood what Yi Zhou meant. As the guard left in confusion, only then did Yi Zhou reveal his true form. Cure her, and in the meantime I will live in the forest outside the city. 3 meals a day, morning tea, afternoon tea, and supper must be prepared. I have been paying attention to health since I was a child. I eat 6 meals a day and feel hungry even if I miss one meal. Quote. Yi Zhou glanced at the Empress who was invisible again. By the way, I used the horse talisman and the immortal flame to help heal him. He will probably be cured after sleeping for a day and night. The next day, the Empress was still asleep. Lily Kingdom bought the latest newspapers. The two sisters stood in front of the Empress's body holding the newspaper and felt that their worldview had collapsed. The newspaper content is, Sabayati Land Islands Incident. Yi Zhou killed 3 Tianlong people, and one of them was executed in public. Kizaru led the army to the scene in person but was blocked by him. Left after 2 hours. His whereabouts are still unknown. There is a smiling expression of Zhang Yejuo on the reward order. At that time, he was executing the Tianlong people. The bounty is 1,080,000,000 belly. He reached the level of a great pirate just after he went to sea. Why does he dare to execute Tianlong people? While their hands were shaking, their hearts felt a hint of joy for some unknown reason. On this day, the two sisters personally delivered 6 meals. Yi Zhou saw their expressions were full of awe, and he was not afraid of poisoning, since there was a horse charm anyway. 3 days passed. When the Empress woke up after recovering, she still felt that the battle was just a pure dream. There is no one in the world who can defeat her without Conqueror's domineering power. It wasn't until he saw the bandage on his head in the mirror that he finally woke up. Sister, let's have something to eat. Poya Sundarsania handed over a plate containing freshly prepared food. To be precise, it's the same style as Yi Zhou. It's tea time now. Yi Zhou ordered lemon black tea with big elbow. Marigold. The Empress pressed her head. She didn't want anything bad to happen to her sister. She went to deliver food. Yi Zhou requested it. As people present, the three sisters all knew Yi Zhou's real name. She didn't dare to lie to the Empress. Nani, that guy is an intruder. The Empress grabbed the second sister's collar angrily. Sister, if he continued to attack, none of us can survive. Yi Zhou seems to have other purposes. Quote, after that, she handed a newspaper to the Empress. After seeing this newspaper, the Empress' pupils were slightly shocked. Is Yi Zhou so crazy? He's such a lunatic. The Empress breathed heavily, unable to accept that a violent maniac would be associated with such a righteous man. Sister, when you were injured, he used an invisibility ability to make you invisible. Boya Sandasonia paused and then said, at that time, your robe was torn due to the battle, and the mark was almost discovered. Hateful. The Empress felt more and more angry. She didn't hate Yi Zhou, but the Tianlong people. Oh, right sister. He said to tell him if you wake up. Then I will go to see alone. Quote, Poya Sundarsania recalled saying. I'll go see him myself. The Empress put on her robe and went with her pet snake Salome. Outside the city, in the woods. A very secret place. Yi Zhou was sitting on the ground, chewing on his big elbow like Chun Yu. He raised his head and took a look. First came the long legs, then the two mountain peaks, and then the Empress' condescending expression pretending to be disgusted. I'm healed, you can leave. Hancock gave him a cold look. Ah, Yi Zhou swallowed the remaining meat in one gulp and wiped his hands and mouth. Drink the tea calmly. Just stood up. It's not that I'm leaving, it's that I'm leaving. Yi Zhou walked towards the seaside, where he found a small raft made of wood and rattan. Yi Zhou, who has all the skill points, has naturally learned how to survive on a deserted island. Everyone felt much more relaxed after stepping onto the small raft. Ah, the sea without sea breeze. Yi Zhou glanced at the sea. There was an undercurrent surging here, and he didn't know how many Poseidons were hiding there. His little raft was probably going to be sunk at any time. This is the ship you took out to sea. The Empress stood on the shore and smiled coldly. What if Yi Zhou plans to go to the capital of Seven Waters later to get a better boat? Ding. Mission completed. Invite the Empress to go to sea, second step. Task reward. The demonic chi of fire full version. System rewards always arrive late. New tasks are also freshly released. The side mission has been refreshed. Check into the Seven Waters capital, check-in method, stay one night at the port. Task reward. 500 million Bailey Shipbuilding Fund. ... This time it's a side mission. The main mission of inviting the Empress to go to sea is still continuing. Yi Zhou is very satisfied. He has adapted to the armed domineering energy in the past 2 days, and now he has the demonic energy of fire. Just float on the sea for a while and get the hang of it. But just after a few pulls, Yi Zhou suddenly realized. Fly back to Nine Snake Island in an instant. Unexpectedly, the Empress was still standing here with her arms folded. Why, you're not leaving again. After all, I'm still greedy for my appearance, but I can't possibly abandon Lily Kingdom to go to sea with you. The Empress refused sternly. Yi Zhou said to the two sisters beside him, do you two have any permanent pointers to the capital of Seven Waters? Elder sister. The two sisters did not dare to give it and could only look at the Empress. I won't give it to you. The Empress gritted her teeth. She did not expect that Yi Zhou would not be reluctant to leave when he came back. Wow, the Poseidon jumped up and smashed Yi Zhou's small raft on the spot. Gone. Yi Zhou was speechless. The little raft had offended someone. Fortunately, there is no countdown to the side mission. If you don't give me a permanent pointer, then I will kill everyone and find a permanent pointer to the capital of Seven Waters. Yi Zhou's words made the two sisters feel like they were facing a formidable enemy. Only their sister, the Empress, showed no fear. Recalling the previous scenes, I only have one sentence left. I do not believe. I can also be invisible and go to your palace to choose at will. Yi Zhou waved his hand. You. The Empress turned around and stared at him. Don't try to stop me, you are not as fast as me. After Yi Zhou finished speaking, he took a step forward and appeared in front of the Empress. Give him, elder sister. The two sisters gave the permanent pointer to Yi Zhou with a confused look on their faces. I can't understand the Empress's operation at all. Why is this different from their previous sisters? But how can you go to the Seven Waters capital without a boat? This is a windless zone. Hancock looked at Yi Zhou again. I can fly. Boom. Yi Zhou spits flames from his mouth, and with the demonic energy of fire, his whole body can burst into flames. Boost like a rocket launcher. There was no half-second pause. Before leaving, I put a laser eye on the idiot Poseidon in the sea. Avenge the raft. Yi Zhou flew out like a Superman and quickly disappeared from the Empress' sight. Wait until Yi Zhou's figure without nostalgia left. The Empress seemed to be missing something in her heart. Bulu bulu. The phone bug rings. From Marine headquarters. Sandersonia picked up the phone only after confirming the Empress' lost gaze. Is Empress Hancock here? This is Marine headquarters. Just now, a warship that went to the Sabayati Islands reported a message that they lost a permanent pointer to 9 Snake Island. If you encounter the young man who attacked the celestial dragons, you must report it to Marine headquarters as soon as possible. The permanent pointer that Yi Zhou took away was eventually discovered by Marine headquarters. Without this clause in my 7 Warlords of the Sea agreement, there is no way I can order you. The Empress refused and hung up the phone. After a long time, she came back to her senses. This man who didn't care about her appearance, executed the celestial dragons, and covered the mark of the flying dragon's hooves for her attracted his attention more and more. Especially the powerful force when beating her. It still feels incredible when I think back on it. So powerful yet so gentle. Every punch and kick he received seemed to be rewinding before his eyes. Hancock's breathing became more rapid. She is sick. Late at night, when the Empress became terminally ill, Groliosa sighed helplessly and gave her a treatment plan, then whispered in her ear, go to sea to find him. By the way, I suffered a big fight from the Empress. Go to sea. Empress Hancock sat up in shock when she was dying and announced on the spot that she would pursue Yi Zhou. Go to sea overnight. ... Far away in the capital of 7 Rivers. Yi Zhou has already landed, and he plans to get used to the demonic energy of fire first. Without Bailey, he could only spend the night wandering on the streets. Ding! The main chain task has been completed, inviting the Empress to go to sea. Mission reward. Advanced Conqueror's Dominance and Dominance. System prompt. Please host complete the side mission as soon as possible and start a new main mission. Yi Zhou was a little confused. Why did the Empress go to sea? The next day, Yi Zhou stretched and walked out of the alley on the street. Fortunately, with the demonic energy of fire, I don't feel cold at all. Ding! Side mission completed. Check into the capital of 7 Waters. Task reward. 500 million Bailey Shipbuilding Fund. Yi Zhou glanced at the mission panel. This time I finally returned to the main mission. The main chain mission has been refreshed. Treasure Ship Plan 1, looking for icebergs and requiring the construction of a large ship worth 500 million Baileys. Task reward. Treasure Tree Adams Wood. Oh, Yi Zhou didn't expect that the main mission this time was so simple. Only the word, chain, made Yi Zhou feel a little uneasy. Iceberg Company is the strongest shipbuilding company in the 7 Rivers City. Here you can get the best boat on the sea if you are willing to spend a lot of money. At the shipbuilding port, familiar figures came into view. Yi Zhou didn't pay attention to their gazes at all. These people are the CP9 hidden in Iceberg Company. 500 million Baileys. Bingshan glanced at Yi Zhou, wanting to confirm whether he could really hand over such a large amount of Bailey. If you agree, I will hand it over to Bailey. Yi Zhou saw the hostility in Bingshan's eyes. Khalifa on the side poked the frame with her slender fingers, and with her blonde hair, she was calculating with a pen how to spend 500 million belly. Your fishnet stockings are good. Yi Zhou glanced at Khalifa aside, spread his hands, and Golden Bailey appeared on the ground. The system will temporarily keep it after the reward. Yi Zhou showed up decisively as soon as he chose it. HMPH. Too frivolous. Khalifa glared at Yi Zhou. Enough for 500 million Baileys. Someone quickly counted and then looked at Yi Zhou in shock. At this time, the CP9 members in the crowd had already glanced at Yi Zhou with their peripheral vision. Bingshan took a careful look, and while signing the shipbuilding contract, he muttered. Why do I feel like I've seen you somewhere? The newspaper bird suddenly dropped a reward notice. He picked it up casually. Bingshan picked up the reward order and checked it with Yi Zhou. The person above smiled particularly arrogantly, which was completely different from Yi Zhou, who seemed approachable now. Were you seen in the Sabayati Islands? Well, can boats still be built? Yi Zhou didn't expect Bingshan to be so calm. Because he could sense the domineering power of his knowledge, everyone, including Khalifa, became nervous. Of course, the contract is signed, why don't you earn 500 million Baileys? Bingshan just took a few steps with his hands in his pockets. Another giant tree appeared in front of Yi Zhou. All the shipwrights turned their heads, even the iceberg turned and looked aside. Treasure tree Adam's wood. Such a huge treasure tree, Adam's wood, that Yi Zhou brought. A small piece is enough to sell 200 million belly in the dark world. This huge piece of wood is worth 2 billion belly. I told you, it's a big ship. The system beep in Yi Zhou's ear has not stopped yet. Ding. The main chain mission has been completed. Treasure ship plan 1. Task reward. Treasure tree Adam's wood. Really? Just know that the main chain mission will not be simple. The main chain mission has been refreshed. Treasure ship plan 2, inviting Khalifa to become a shipwright. Task reward. Ancient weapon Pluton design drawing. Yi Zhou was pleasantly surprised that the task was so simple and he could complete it effortlessly. It's just an invitation, not just a word. Miss Khalifa, my big boat will travel around the world. I happen to need an excellent shipwright, can you go to sea with me? Yi Zhou's invitation made Khalifa, who was pretending to be angry, freeze in place. If it weren't for continuing to lurk in iceberg company. In order to get the ancient weapon Pluton design drawings. They CP9 have already taken action against Yi Zhou, an unreasonable person. Moreover, Yi Zhou killed the Tianlong people, and the reward was as high as 1 billion Baileys. Don't talk about shipbuilding. Unexpectedly, a marine battleship will come to chase him soon. How is it possible? I am Mr. Bingshan's assistant. Khalifa kicked out angrily. Yi Zhou easily dodged it. Very nice, and he also thought Khalifa would be a good shipwright. She must have good skills in mastering the sixth form of marine. She is often seen and heard in Bingshan company, so she should have some skills. I have no objection, but Miss Khalifa has a bad temper. Bingshan smiled slightly. Not to mention Yi Zhou, there are often big figures from the Grand Line and New World who come to him to build ships. In the words of his master Tom, as shipwrights, this is their job. Ding. The main chain mission has been completed. Treasure ship plan 2, inviting Khalifa to go to sea. Task reward. Ancient weapon, Pluton design drawing. Really, just know that the main chain mission will not be simple. The main chain mission has been refreshed. Treasure ship plan 3, the design drawings are publicly unveiled, attracting the attention of CP9, and defeating them all. Mission reward. Inu dog fruit phantom beast species 9 tails fox form. ... It looks like a phantom beast, but it's actually very ordinary. Yi Zhou is not interested in any fruits of the animal family. It can be completely replaced by the monkey charm without any side effects. Mr. Bingshan, I don't know if my ship can be made according to this drawing. Yi Zhou took out the drawing and deliberately turned it in a big circle, as if he was afraid that others wouldn't see it. This is... Bingshan's eyes were shocked. Finally, there was something that shocked him. Pluton design drawing. There should be only one passed down from Mr. Tom in this world. Why is there another copy? This drawing is the Pluton design drawing I got by accident. Yi Zhou deliberately shouted in the loudest voice. Anyone who doesn't hear it will be unhappy. Really, what is that? Bingshan pretended to know nothing. Khalifa, take it and help me see if I can make it. After all, you will become my shipwright in the future. Who's going to be your shipwright? Khalifa was angry, but still snatched it away. She only glanced at it and couldn't understand it at all. But the iceberg next to him snatched it away. I'm sorry, take it away, sir. This kind of thing is simply a fabricated drawing. It cannot be manufactured without any scientific principles. Bingshan looked at Yi Zhou seriously. Yi Zhou smiled and put away the drawings. This scene made Khalifa and other CP9 members already feel uneasy. It would be okay if Iceberg didn't have this attitude, because it just means it's real. It doesn't matter. Just use my huge piece of wood. There is no material fee. I will use the little gold to take a bath. Yi Zhou picked up a piece of gold. He really wanted to simply take a bath. As he left, Bingshan kept watching his back. This scene was secretly watched by CP9. Anyway, they will definitely take action against Yi Zhou tonight. I would rather make a mistake of 10,000 than let one go. The capital of Seven Waters. On the other side of the harbor. The pirate ship from Nine Snake Island has arrived. The Empress stepped onto the street, looked around and began to look for Yi Zhou. Yi Zhou knew he was being followed as he walked on the road. That's great. If you don't follow it, you will be very unhappy. He took the gold and threw it in a most luxurious hotel. After having a big meal, he lay down on the bed. If you want to live a good life at sea, Golden Bailey is indispensable. Late at night, Yi Zhou tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. Why hasn't CP9 come yet? I am so arrogant and outrageous. Don't you remember that something is wrong? Anyway, I have to come and verify it. Whoosh. Yi Zhou deliberately left the window open while sleeping, fearing that CP9 wouldn't be able to sneak in. Facts have proved that worries are unnecessary. An air door opened, and all CP9 gathered and appeared in front of Yi Zhou's small bed. For this reason, Yi Zhou specially placed the drawings next to the bed. In order for Lu Qi to further confirm, it was simply a matter of effort. Whoosh! A gust of wind blew and a drawing was blown up. Lu Qi's pupils were shocked. He didn't even look at it, but after flipping through 2 pages, he confirmed that this was a design that he had never seen before. Even if it's not Pluton, it won't be a simple design drawing. Several people looked at each other. I had planned to use Bruno's air door to leave again. Rob Luki, however, exchanged glances with several people and immediately attacked Yi Zhou, who was pretending to sleep. Good. Yi Zhou finally waited for this moment. Chua. He stood up immediately and appeared next to Bruno in an instant. Stealth acceleration is used to move. Armed with domineering and powerful attacks. He punched Bruno in the stomach, causing him to roll his eyes and vomit blood and fainted. Do it. Rob Luki took action, but he didn't expect to be discovered by Yi Zhou. Arhat Fist. Yi Zhou's fists are fierce and powerful, coupled with his terrifying speed. CP9 is all about one punch. Until he stood in front of Rob Luki. Demon King Yi Zhou, who has a bounty of 1 billion belly, killed the celestial dragons in the Sabayati Islands. You have no way to escape. The city of Seven Waters is now filled with marine battleships. The buster call will be activated at any time and you are dead. Rob Luki didn't finish his words. Yi Zhou also activated Lu Ying and Ba Tang. Whoosh. With one punch, the expression on Rob Luki's face disappeared instantly, and his entire face sunken. Until it flies out upside down, it cannot get up again. The leader of CP9, the strongest Marine 6-style genius in hundreds of years, could not withstand a punch. Yi Zhou picked up all the drawings one by one. CP9 group destroyed. Rob Lucy turned into a leopard and Bruno turned into a cow. Kaku turns into a giraffe and Jabra turns into a wolf. Snuggled into a lion, the owl naturally lives up to its name. CP9 Zoo was officially established under the influence of the monkey charm. Oh, there is one left, Yi Zhou's Shipwright Khalifa. Under the moonlight, when she witnessed this scene with her own eyes, she was stunned. Such powerful strength, giving her a sense of terror that she could be killed instantly with just one look. Ding! The main chain mission has been completed. Treasure Ship Plan 3, defeated CP9. Mission reward. Inu Dog Fruit Phantom Beast Species 9 Tails Fox Form. Holding a brand new devil fruit. Yi Zhou glanced at Khalifa, who was stunned, and directly motioned her to eat the fruit. The main chain mission has been refreshed. Treasure Ship Plan 4, the ship is repaired and goes to sea, Khalifa as the shipwright and the Empress as the deputy captain. Task reward. Diseased fruit. ... The reward this time seems average, but it is inexplicably good. I always feel like it will come in handy at some point. It's time for me to find a ship's doctor too. Yi Zhou thought for a while, who should he find to be the ship's doctor? It tastes so bad. Is this a devil fruit? Khalifa said with some disgust. The remaining fruit falls. Her whole body gained a new strength. From now on you will be the shipwright on my pirate ship. Yi Zhou looked at Khalifa, who said nothing. Under the moonlight, she was wearing a black assistant uniform, black fishnet stockings as the base, and a pair of high heels. I can kill myself. Then I will make your life worse than death. Yi Zhou doesn't like negotiating terms with others. Humph, Even if you threaten me, I will never agree. Khalifa turned her head away, her face feeling a little hot. Yi Zhou always felt that this guy seemed to have some inexplicable hobbies. Buster call. Which general will be here this time? Yi Zhou left the hotel, Khalifa always following him. Walking near the port, you can indeed see the warship hidden in the darkness at a glance. Thump thump thump. There was a sound of high heels. Yi Zhou took a quick look and saw that the Empress wearing a cheongsam was chasing her. I want to get on the ship, Yi Zhou, I want to become the deputy captain of your ship. The moonlight is bright and clear. Setting off the cold temperament of the Empress, there is a hint of shy anger hidden in the princess's cut black hair. Khalifa remembered Yi Zhou's name in her heart, and couldn't help but be surprised that the two knew each other. Congratulations, you were admitted to the Yi Zhou pirates. As the first officer, you also need to get to know our new crew members. Shipmaker, Ms. Khalifa, whose hobby is collecting stockings and shoes. Quote. Yi Zhou remembered that this was indeed what Khalifa's life card said. No way, really, Khalifa blushed. She didn't expect Yi Zhou to know her so well, so she quickly kicked her. Fortunately, Yi Zhou was able to avoid it easily. Good. The Empress thought the Khalifa in front of her was a competitor, but it turned out to be a shipwright. She immediately looked over with contempt. Nani? Khalifa was shocked, the Empress' eyes were mocking her. Their eyes were as bright as lightning. Yi Zhou didn't care at all. He still has to wait for Iceberg Company to build his pirate ship, so he can't let Buster Call destroy the Seven Waters capital. Everyone, no matter who you are, you should retreat before I go to sea. Take one step. The powerful conqueror's haki is based on the entire island and invades towards the sea. Yi Zhou really has conqueror's domineering spirit. The Empress couldn't help but look at Yi Zhou, feeling ecstatic in her heart. The man she likes should be a 1 in a million king. That's not very polite. In the darkness, a lazy voice appeared. He yawned, and lasers followed. Kizaru. Before doing this, Yi Zhou could only dodge or bear it. But now, he has been able to use offense as his best defense. He was armed with all the Conqueror's domineering energy and completely ignored the attack. The Conqueror's domineering burst just now had already stunned most of the sailors. Only Kizaru and several other elite Marine headquarters lieutenant generals were left. If his Conqueror's domineering power is further improved from domineering and entangling to the level of seeing, hearing and killing. Not only can he hide his own aura from being sensed by the haki, but he can also directly stun the lieutenant generals. Right now, it's still a little bit worse. Kizaru, how dare he make an enemy of my captain? The Empress was about to take action. Yi Zhou stopped her. Let me. The Empress nodded, and Yi Zhou had dozens of layers of filters in his eyes, making him look as handsome as a mess. Boom. In the dark, Kizaru used a laser kick to fight Yi Zhou in midair. Have you awakened your armed haki? More than just armed colors. This time, Yi Zhou was able to use only his body. Oh, that's really a monster, but we have found traces of the Empress who seems to be looking for you. She's about to lose her status as 7 warlords of the sea. The meaning of Kizaru is very simple. In this case, Lily Kingdom will not be protected. Will also be besieged by Marines. The reason is to join forces with Yi Zhou. Really, from now on, 9 Snake Island belongs to me. Yi Zhou knocked back Kizaru with a flying kick. CP9's entire army was wiped out just now. Tell Cyborg Kong of the World Army about this. It's yours. Can you cover it? Kizaru confirmed that Yi Zhou had awakened the 3-color domineering energy, and it was very powerful. Every blow put tremendous pressure on him. Sure. This darkness is my kingdom. Before Yi Zhou finished speaking, shadow warriors appeared on the battleships one after another. Some of them were attacking the elite lieutenant general of Marine headquarters. Oh, what a terrifying ability. Kizaru held it with his empty hand. Tian Zong Yun's sword. Wow, a lightsaber slashed out. Yi Zhou has taken out his supreme sharp sword, first generation Ghost Tetsu. And it's Bomatanga Ryu Sakura. Huang Yuan's sword was directly blocked by Yi Zhou. Speed, strength, domineering, you are weaker than me in every aspect. Kizaru. Then you have to fight. If you don't fight when facing monsters, many innocent people will be slaughtered by monsters in this sea. Kizaru felt the difficulty, and he was increasingly at a disadvantage, but he had to fight for the mission. It was already considered overtime for him to launch a buster call at night so late. Yeah, boom. The sword attacks were getting faster and faster, and Huang Yuan's Tian Zong Yun sword was increasingly unable to catch up with Yi Zhou's attack power. He was completely at a disadvantage. As a flash man, he would actually be at a disadvantage in aerial combat. There is no doubt that the bounty offered by Marine to Yi Zhou is still too low. Meteor volcano. Boom, boom. A flash of fire shot into the darkness. Then huge fists of lava rose into the sky. While lighting up the sky, it also attacked Yi Zhou. Akainu, Sakazuki. Yi Zhou didn't expect Marine to be so cautious. In order to deal with him alone, he actually sent 2 generals from his headquarters. Wow, molten flows billowingly and rises into the sky. Yi Zhou smiled and fought with the 2 at the same time. 8-foot beautiful Magatama. Kizaru no longer hesitated, spinning at high speed and throwing pieces of extremely fast light jade onto Yi Zhou. Dark Hound. Akainu jumped up and appeared behind Yi Zhou. Really, the guilt of killing 3 celestial dragons is by no means as simple as imagined. The Tianlong people were furious and sent more than 10 warships. He will also send a general who is the fastest and most lethal. There is an iron rule in the world of pirates: no one can defeat 2 generals joining forces. Yi Zhou didn't know if this rule applied to him. He uses the rabbit charm. Dragon scales and claws burst out all over his body instantly. Soar up and turn into a green dragon. This time, he transformed into the fish fruit, phantom beast species, and blue dragon form. Did you use that copying ability again? Kizaru found it difficult. He finally stayed up late and worked overtime. It was easy. What is copied is just imitation after all. Akainu continued to attack. He didn't believe that Yi Zhou could really match Kaido by turning into the green dragon form. Boom. Yi Zhou, who was occupying the sky, felt that his power seemed to have gained an abnormal increase. The flame of the Holy Lord's body, the demonic energy of fire, and the dragon talisman. For the dragon's breath in the form of a blue dragon, Yanyan further brings an increase. Dragon breath. Wow. The dark world was blasted open with a giant pillar of flame, carrying the power of the blast away. Kizaru immediately turned into a flash to dodge. Akainu didn't even bother to dodge while he was in it. He didn't believe that mere flames could hurt his molten body. The sea was bombarded by this pillar of fire that was rougher than a battleship, and turned into white steam on the spot, rising into the sky. Thunder 8 trigrams. Yi Zhou holds the first generation ghost in his hand and activates the orc form immediately. Lightning and domineering were mixed, and a blow was struck towards Sakazuki. For Kaido, this move is equivalent to surrendering to the 3rd generation and attracting Naraku. Dark Hound. Thunder and lightning and lava bombarded each other, and Akainu's expression changed. He did not expect Yi Zhou's domineering power to be so terrifying. Laser kick. Kizaru immediately appeared on Yi Zhou's right and came with a flying kick. This is also the reason why no one can fight against the 2 generals in a deadly battle. Even a hexagonal warrior with no blind spots in all aspects. There will be moments of negligence when taking action with all your strength. If a 3rd person intervenes, it means a momentary life and death crisis. Sneak attack on me. Yi Zhou didn't care at all about Kizaru's blow. He who has the dog charm is immortal. The top healing ability of the animal system in the form of a blue dragon, coupled with the horse charm. There is nothing to be afraid of. Kizaru's laser kick and Tianzong Yunjian came up at the same time. Yi Zhou didn't take it seriously at all. Great Weed Thunder 8 trigrams. Click. Black lightning broke out, and Akainu felt that his fist was blocked by the powerful conqueror's haki and armed color haki. The thunder and lightning caused by this move also continued to increase. Not only that, Yi Zhou can also use Thunder 8 trigrams while blessing Dragon Breath. Akainu will fight to the death to block this blow. 8-foot beautiful Magatama. Kizaru kept attacking, trying to cause real harm to Yi Zhou. It's useless. Your attack can't break through my defense. Even if it breaks through, I can still recover immediately. Click. Thunder and fire collide with lava. Domination and strength are stimulated to the extreme. Yi Zhou gritted his teeth and endured Kizaru's attack. His whole body was wrapped in domineering energy, blocking the streaks of light jade. Electric storm dragon breath burst flame. Yi Zhoujun should eat a named fruit. When there is a stalemate. Yi's eyes burned, and his mouth burst out with power at the same time. Lasers and explosive flames burst out. Blast Akainu's head into lava. At this moment, Akainu had to elementally dodge. The strength also slackened. Chua. Yi Zhou slashed out with his sword, but used it as a mace. Roaring thunder 8 trigrams. Akainu, who was hit this time, had no time to stop him at the critical moment. The whole person flew upside down and fell into the sea. Sakazuki. Kizaru immediately went to rescue him, forgetting that he was a devil fruit user. General Akainu. Doberman, who was fighting with the Shadow Warrior, quickly jumped into the sea. You go down too. At this moment, Kizaru is similar to the Whitebeard pirates at the top of the war. Because of Whitebeard's accident, everything was in chaos. As a result, Marco was locked on the Sea Tower Stone and Diamond Josie lost an arm. It was still several years before the war on top. Yi Zhou has already arrived. Kizaru turned his head, his body flashed at the fastest speed, and he wanted to teleport out. A sword slashed forward, forcibly interrupting his elemental transformation. Kizaru paused in midair. Zhang Sanshi Yin Nai Luo. This downward attack. Kizaru immediately vomited blood and plummeted into the sea. Stoloberg stopped fighting and went to the rescue. Above the dark sky, Yi Zhou reigns over the sea like a demon king. Chapter 11. Yi Zhou looked down at the sea, and 2 laser beams burst out involuntarily, directly blasting 2 big holes in the sea. Found it. Whoosh. Yi Zhou landed immediately and saw 2 marine lieutenants trying their best to save Kizaru and Akainu. Come on, let's stop this guy. Ghost Spider and Flying Squirrel took action, trying to block Yi Zhou's steps. Don't worry, Yi Zhou pointed out, and the monkey charm came into effect. The Ghost Spider transformed into a giant black spider. The Flying Squirrel also turned into a flying squirrel about the same size as a human. Hateful. Doberman turned around, his whole body covered with armed domineering energy, trying to block Yi Zhou's fruit ability. But how did he know that this was never a devil fruit? Akainu and Kizaru were weak. There was a flash of light. It really turned into a big blood-red dog and a lazy golden monkey. What have you done? Doberman didn't expect that Yi Zhou didn't care about him at all. Can't you see? Or do you want to become a small animal? Do you want a hound? Yi Zhou did things faster than he could talk, and in a blink of an eye, Doberman also turned into an animal. It's fun, now we are really at the zoo. As soon as you move. The Shadow Warrior quickly followed. Until reaching the shore. The remaining elite lieutenant generals of the headquarters fled back to the headquarters overnight in surprise. What was lost at once were 2 top combatants. I believe there must be a solution in this department. I heard that Zan Momomaru had been sent to Vegapunk's laboratory after turning into a pig. The city of 7 waters is particularly quiet at night. Khalifa on the shore understood this after witnessing it with her own eyes. CP9 will always be part of the zoo from now on. And she will truly become the shipwright on Yi Zhou's ship. The effect of the 9-tails fox fruit will probably be brought to its fullest. If you don't have the energy to work in the future, you can use your fruit abilities to become a powerful shipwright in various ways. Yi Zhou returned to the shore and patted Khalifa on the shoulder happily. Hearing Yi Zhou's threat, not only did Khalifa feel no pain, but she felt a sense of pleasure. She seemed to have awakened to something strange. Yi Zhou. The Empress walked forward quickly and was about to take Yi Zhou's arm. Please call me Captain. Captain. Hearing this, the Empress also blushed. This is the feeling of staying next to Yi Zhou, very warm. Hancock, we are setting sail tomorrow, please make arrangements. I will take care of it. The Empress's voice is completely that of the royal sister. After all, she has been a queen for so long and has a lot of background. Yi Zhou nodded with satisfaction. Early morning. When the sun shines on the port of the 7 Waters capital. Under a huge treasure ship. Bingshan and others have been waiting for a long time. Mr. Yi, right, I have already heard from your shipwright, Miss Khalifa. Bingshan and Yi Zhou shook hands. A dogfight broke out in last night's Buster Call, which ended with Yi Zhou's victory. For him, he also learned about the mutiny at the port immediately. CP9's identity was completely revealed, which made Bingshan feel a little grateful to Yi Zhou. But when he learned that Khalifa's identity, which had been undercover for many years, was revealed. When he actually became the shipwright on Yi Zhou's ship again, he was also very confused. Thank you. This ship looks great. Yi Zhou patted the treasure ship. It looked like it could accommodate at least hundreds of people. Mr. Bingshan, if you have the chance, please help me build the ship in the picture. Mr. Yi, don't joke. Bingshan smiled. That's Pluton. How many materials are needed to make it? Besides, how could such a huge battle not attract the interest of the world government? Sail off. The Empress purchased a large amount of supplies, and her two sisters took half of the crew of the Nine Snakes pirates back to the Lily Kingdom to guard it. The remaining half followed on board. What name should I give it? When Yi Zhou was worrying about his name, the newspaper bird threw out a brand new reward order made overnight. There is also newspaper content on it. Yi Zhou threw Bailey up and looked at the newspaper. Shocking explosion, Buster Call failed, and the Demon King pirates were born. The two generals were defeated and their whereabouts are unknown. Those who spend a lot of money to find out the truth. The Empress joins the Demon King pirates and abolishes her status as Seven Warlords of the Sea. The CP9 undercover agent in the Seven Waters City was leaked. It turns out that a woman is an undercover agent of the Demon King. In addition, there are reward orders for 3 people. Khalifa has a bounty of 85 million belly. As a CP9 that specializes in Marine 6 styles, it is indeed worth the price. Moreover, with the Marine 6th style as the foundation for getting started with hockey, it is easy to awaken hockey. The Empress's bounty is as high as 1 billion belly. As the Empress Hancock is strong enough to compete with the Great Pirate, the bounty is not too high. Yi Zhou's bounty increased dramatically overnight, from more than 1 billion Baileys to a full 2 billion Baileys. Am I so valuable? Yi Zhou picked up the newspaper, still very pleased. I have to say that News King Morgans is very good at naming names. Well, let's call my pirate group the Demon King Pirates. The Demon King Pirates, set sail. Wow, everyone boarded the ship, and the Empress' eyes were full of Yi Zhou. Khalifa couldn't help but feel sad when she looked back on everything she had done over the years. But at the thought of becoming a shipwright under Yi Zhou, he felt inexplicably secretly happy. Sail away from the capital of 7 rivers. Yi Zhou stretched. The sea breeze is so comfortable. He returned to the big bed in the captain's cabin and lay down, intending to take a nap. Khalifa on the deck was holding a bounty order, which was not a good feeling at all. 85 million Baileys. That's it. Am I so worthless in Marine's eyes? Khalifa feels that her strength is seriously underestimated. Ding. The main chain mission has been completed. Treasure Ship Plan 4, successfully set out to sea. Task reward. Diseased fruit. Yi Zhou didn't pay attention when he heard the sound. It's been a long time since he had a good rest. Side mission has started. Arrive at Sky Island, go and say hello to Enel. Task reward. Lightning demonic energy full version. ... Confirm there is no countdown. Yi Zhou fell asleep peacefully. The magic of thunder sounds good. I hope I can give Enel a little surprise so that his life as a god will not be boring. Turning over, Yi Zhou felt that the pillow was quite comfortable. But I smelled a hint of fragrance. Captain, is the pillow on my knees comfortable? Ah, Yi Zhou turned over in surprise and almost realized the taste of the sea. Don't make trouble. He tried his best to cover himself with a blanket and fell asleep quickly. The sea has always been a very dangerous place. Being able to take a good rest for a while is really what you want. These people from the Nine Snakes pirates are good at fighting, after all, they all have domineering power. CP9 will display 2-color domineering energy on the life card. It won't take long for Khalifa to master it, she has a good foundation. Marine Headquarters. It is different from the warmth of the Demon King pirates. The atmosphere here is very bad. Warring States looked at the puppy and little monkey in the office, feeling very bad. Can't you two use your domineering power to remove this fruit's ability? Akainu, Kizaru nodded. It's strange. It stands to reason that as long as the hockey is strong enough, the effects of the devil fruit can be eliminated. He looked at the two of them doubtfully and confirmed. Can I still use my abilities in hockey? Gurgling. When Akainu heard this, the puppy stood on its feet with lava flowing on its body. Whoosh! The yellow ape turned into a shining golden monkey, coming and going like the wind. He even condensed a lightsaber in his hand. Soon, a pig came in. He was wearing a helmet. It was Zon Momomaru. I didn't expect that even the old man would look like this. After Zon Taowen finished speaking, Pig Trotter threw out 2 new helmets. Akainu, Kizaru brought it with him. This is the animal sound helmet made by Vegapunk. As long as the corresponding blood factors are obtained, a device that can understand animal sounds can be created. Even a pig can talk. After Zon Taowen said this, he always felt that something was wrong. Warring States said nothing. Akainu turned around with a fierce look. Ouch, I didn't expect to be tricked by someone. That guy's ability is really terrifying. Kizaru complained, jumped up on the chair, picked up a cup of tea and drank it calmly. But hockey can be used just like fruit abilities, so it doesn't seem to have much impact. Akainu said in self-deception. Don't show your face for now, I will continue to think of a solution. After saying this, Warring States became worried again. Headache, such a headache. Yi Zhou first killed the Tianlong people, and then took away the Empress of the 7 Warlords of the Sea in the capital of 7 Waters, severely injuring the 2 generals with Buster Call. Nowadays, there are countless rumors on the sea, which makes him sleepless all night. Right now, the men came quickly to report. No, it's not good. Sengoku Fleet Admiral, the Demon King pirates we were tracking just now, flew into the sky. Nani, Warring States really wanted to curse. He was even thinking about the possibility of cooperating with Yi Zhou to remove the fruit's effect. But if you do that, what price will you pay? ... Stay away from the 7 Waters capital. Yi Zhou woke up from his sleep and his stomach became round after eating. The scenery on the treasure ship is very nice. There are also green plants, large and small warehouses, cabins, artillery, and various new devices. Captain Yi Zhou. The crew members all looked at him. According to the order of the Empress, ordinary crew members on this ship can only call Yi Zhou Captain Yi Zhou. The affectionate title of captain belongs only to her. Khalifa was wearing leather gloves and holding a small hammer. It looked like she was really learning the skills of a shipwright. Yi Zhou had long thought that an iron block and a finger gun would be able to drive nails very well. Captain, Khalifa looked at Yi Zhou. They had been drifting on the sea for a day. On the sea, you have to obey the captain wherever you want to go. Go to heaven. If Yi Zhou wants to complete the side mission, he must fly into the sky. Heaven, Khalifa was stunned. The boat had no wings, so how could it fly up there? Of course it flew. Yi Zhou exerted his strength. The Demon King immediately floated from the sea. The Empress leaned on the railing with her hands and kept looking at Yi Zhou. Now he is going to fly to the sky. Does this mean that the captain wants to get blessings from heaven in order to marry my concubine? Then you are passionate. Yi Zhou glanced at Hancock and flew with all his strength. The chicken talisman plus the rabbit talisman is quite effective. The sea of clouds broke through in an instant. Successfully landed in the White Sea. Wow, everything before my eyes became wonderful. There is also a huge island in the sky. Shantora, also known as Gaia Island. Yi Zhou originally didn't know where their ship was on the sea. But flying directly to Gaia Island is really magical. Because soil is particularly precious to Sky Island. The battle for this island has been going on for hundreds of years. The Sky Island is said to exist above the sky, and there is an ancient civilization. The Empress stood next to Yi Zhou, and Khalifa couldn't help but be shocked. Let the adventure begin. Yi Zhou landed on this island, which was regarded as a taboo by the Sky Islanders. The crew landed quickly and stepped into the woods with their long legs. For them who master domineering and are good at swordsmanship and bow and arrow. Except for Enel and the 4 god-tier officials, there is no creature here that can stop the pace. Yi Zhou walked in the woods and was a little stunned after thinking about it. How should I greet Enel? He walked a few steps and suddenly remembered something. Enel's power of knowledge combined with the thunder fruit can form a hard network to monitor the entire Sky Island. As long as he has witty words and polite greetings, he will definitely inspire Enel's hospitality. Enel, you are a hammer god. Your grandpa Yi is here. A polite greeting. Welcome a bolt from the blue. Boom, see the thunder pillar above your head. Yi Zhou avoided it with just one easy dodge. Seeing and hearing is just domineering, no one can do it. Ding. Side mission completed. Polite greetings. Task reward. lightning demonic chi full version. A wave of demonic energy poured into his body. Fortunately, there is a tiger charm to maintain balance, so this huge power will not get out of control. The main mission has started. Defeat Enel. Mission reward. Shadow Core Ninja. ... This new reward seems pretty good too. Yi Zhou blew out a puff of black smoke. The body began to be intertwined with lightning and flames. Boom. Another thunder pillar struck. I have to say that Enel's Haki and Devil Fruit are quite well developed. It's a pity that I met Yi Zhou. This lightning strike had no effect on him. He even just pinched it in his hand and swallowed it. Really not bad. Boom. More and more thunder pillars appeared to besiege Yi Zhou. He simply rose up in the air, stretched out one hand, and the demonic energy of thunder instantly controlled the thunder and lightning in this area, snatching away all the lightning. No matter how many times Enel cast it remotely, it all went to him. This is the complete version of lightning magic. You are offending God's wrath. A figure hovered in the air. He has big earlobes and 4-3 Magatama taiko drums behind his back. Enel, holding the golden sword in his hand, was already furious. He couldn't understand why he, the god of Sky Island, would meet a guy who dared to challenge him out of the blue. Shut up. 60 million volts Brontosaurus. Boom. The taiko drums roared, and thunder and lightning were fired at this moment. He slashed towards Yi Zhou. Thunder and lightning, I have them too. Yi Zhou also learned this move, but he didn't need a taiko drum to increase its power. Boom. The two thunder dragons collided and cancelled each other out instantly. You're just imitating me. Yeah, Enel's voice just sounded. Yi Zhou punched him in the abdomen. The speed was so fast that even Enel, who had lightning speed, was shocked. But he quickly sneered. Yeah, ha 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 ha. God is the body of thunder and lightning, you can't hit him. Puff. Enel vomited out a mouthful of blood, and his whole body was not feeling well. You said if you don't zoom in at the beginning, who are you looking down on? Yi Zhou's fists are getting faster and faster. The armed color Haki flow Sakura attacks, and the seeing and hearing color Haki looks for its true body. Wing Chun Lu Ying Ox Talisman Mark of Thunder and Fire Double Demonic Chi. Ahem. Enel instantly felt a suffocating pain in his throat. It hurts so much. He hasn't eaten anything in the morning. He is dominating in the palace. The 4 god-tier officers and minions under his command still pursue him as the only invincible god in the universe. Unexpectedly, a person with a tour group of beautiful women suddenly appeared. First, greet him politely. Immediately afterwards, there is a ritual first and then a soldier. Now it was a set of silky little combos that he had never seen before. This, is, what, move? Wing Chun, Yi Zhou. Yi Zhou paused for a moment. He took a stance, expecting to hear the words, Master Yi. In the end, he was sentimental. Enel was beaten violently, and at this moment he just felt haggard and weak. I'll give you a glimpse of the sky beyond the sky. Yi Zhou's last move, Bajiquan Batang Tishengwa. Click. Enel heard the sound of bones breaking all over his body, and then died. In fact, he still has a lot of ultimate moves that he has yet to unleash. There is really no chance to let go now. In life, you must make your big move in time. Don't wait until you return to Resurrection Fountain to regret it. Not only does the ultimate move have a cooldown, but Resurrection also has one, maybe even longer. God fell from the sky. Come down with an invincible combo. Yi Zhou felt like he had no energy to wake up after waking up. Only then did he really start traveling. Ding. Main mission completed. Defeat Enel. Mission reward. Shadow Core Ninja. Yi Zhou made a casual move. Sombra Ninja appears alongside Sombra Samurai. This is the Shadow Core that I first saw in my childhood. The main chain mission has been started. Crew Complement Plan 1. Go to Alabasta, invite the destined woman with long blue hair to become the ship's doctor. Mission reward. Black Shadow Core Spur Blade. Yi Zhou remembered. They are those guys whose hands and feet resemble owls and have full attack speed. You can just say it, her name is Vivi. There is also a woman of fate. Could the system's reminder be more obvious? Go and get rid of all Enel's minions. Whoosh. The black shadow quickly lurked and began to catch them all. Yi Zhou relaxed a lot when he saw that there was no countdown. I really just walked around in the woods, hunted, looked at the scenery, and camped. The next day, When he walked out of the forest, there were already countless people from Sky Island surrounding him. Enel fell from the sky. He was accidentally wounded to death by Yi Zhou's Tishanshan. Immediately afterwards, all the gods' subordinates were eradicated overnight. They saw black shadows appear. In addition, during the previous war, Yi Zhou's heroic and invincible Tishan cow in the sky has long been remembered by countless people. They are waiting for Yi Zhou to become the new god who will replace Enel. Or the true god sent by God to save them. Surely only God would save them in this situation. Yi Zhou would still be a god if he replaced Enel. It's really a mouthful. With a snap, everyone knelt down. Yi Zhou glanced at them and knew what they were thinking. But now, the camping is over. There is no point in staying on Sky Island any longer. He is ready to leave here. May I ask, do you want to become a new god? Someone asked tentatively. God, if that thing really exists, you should go to hell. Yi Zhou and others landed on the Demon King and were ready to sink. Everyone was still kneeling on the vehicle Weiba equipped with Fangbei. It seems that it was given to the CPU by Enel. Yi Zhou saw and heard the rapid expansion of his domineering energy, and used the thunder and lightning demonic energy to spread quickly in the atmosphere. It was like a big net until it found a vine. There is a golden bell on top of it. Chua, the electric eye burst out and rushed directly towards the golden bell. The bell rings. Everyone looked up in disbelief, looking at Yi Zhou standing on the bow of the boat in front of them. I said before, there is no god in this world. Even if there is, he should go to hell. The people on Kongdao looked at each other. They just felt that some shackles in their hearts suddenly broke at this moment. No more god, but Yi Zhou in front of him is nothing. Let's go back to the sea. Yi Zhou gave an order, and under the influence of his chicken talisman and rabbit talisman, the entire ship sank quickly. Wow, leaving the white sea and appearing in the sky again. A large ship flew like leaves until it fell back into the sea. Do you have a permanent pointer to Alabasta? Yi Zhou heard the bells in the sky still ringing. But his laser gave Golden Bell a concussion. The Empress and others woke up from the ringing of the Golden Bell and the surprise that fell from the sky. He quickly gave a permanent pointer to Alabasta. Captain, what are you going to do there? Khalifa is puzzled that Alabasta is no better than before. It doesn't rain all year round, and the island, which is mainly a desert, has become increasingly dry. Looking for a ship's doctor, and of course maybe a masseur. Masseur, Khalifa doesn't understand, but the ship's doctor can understand. Do you need a masseur when sailing on the sea? Set off. Yi Zhou originally wanted to sail in any direction by himself. With the accuracy of his automatic navigation, he can reach the Sky Island in just one flight. What permanent pointers are needed? The final island does not require historical coordinates. Besides, Robin should have joined Crocodile's Baroque working group now. Huahuaguo's ability is really suitable for becoming a masseur. Just imagine, drifting on the endless sea. No matter how good the boat is, it will inevitably drift around. Over time, the bones will fall apart. Without regular massage therapy, sooner or later it will become useless. Besides, there is no such thing as retirement when you are a pirate. When Rayleigh was very old, she had to sell herself to pay for gambling debts. Take a look at Garp's small barbecue and snacks. Maybe he even secretly knitted sweaters for warring states. Yi Zhou let Khalifa and the others control the ship, sitting on a chair at the stern of the boat drinking morning tea. After a cup of black tea, all I need is a tray of salted duck egg meat buns. Even Enel has been defeated. It's time to take a look at my character panel. Yi Zhou prepares afternoon tea. The character panel opens immediately. Character panel. Plane. Pirate world. Time. Haiyuan calendar year 1516. Character. Holy Lord. Player. Yi Zhou. Feature. Photographic memory. Devil Chi. Fire Demon Chi. Thunder and Lightning Demon Chi. Skill. Swordsmanship. Great Swordsman. Domineering. Armed color. Flowing Sakura. Wisdom color. Predicting the future. Conqueror's Batang. Talent. Body of the Holy Lord. Full status. Skill. 12 talismans. Concept level. Summon. Shadow Core Samurai Ninja Unlimited. Noble Phantasm. History Book of Time Unlocked. Backpack. Supreme Knife. First Generation Ghost. Diseased Fruit. Pluton Design. The strength is very average. Yi Zhou gave his own evaluation. He is probably a bit of a collector and wants to gather all the Black Shadow troops and demonic energy. Think of this. He thought about food again. Should he also find a better chef? In fact, Yi Zhou's collection control is not only reflected in the character panel. There is also the collection of powerful crew members. Alabasta, Aruma, a city located on the lower reaches of the Santo River. Yi Zhou and others arrived here after docking at the port. Take out the map you just bought. Yi Zhou first took a fancy to Albana, the royal land. This place is quite nice. I don't know if Vivi has actually joined Baroque Studio now. According to the timeline, Robin should have just been working with Sand Crocodile for about a year. After thinking about it for a while, Yi Zhou made a decisive calculation. It was 4 years after the adventure of the Straw Hats, and 2 years after Fire Fist Ace went to sea. When Vivi met the Straw Hats, she joined Baroque and infiltrated for 2 years. Therefore, there is a high probability that she is still staying in Albana. Let's go, Albana. Yi Zhou patted the camel. This thing is really annoying to move around. The problem is that he also wants to hire some fast-running ducks, but unfortunately they belong to the royal family. Captain, Alabasta's hot climate is a historical problem. The art here is not famous compared to their spices. Khalifa believes that if you want to find a doctor, you have to go to the Drum Kingdom on Winter Island. That's where serious medical development is. How dare you disobey the captain's decision? The Empress wanted to give Khalifa a big competition. Khalifa was speechless. She finally understood that the Empress was Yi Zhou's biggest fan. I just didn't dare to refute. The Empress is not only the vice captain, but the combat crew of the Demon King pirates are all carefully selected from the 9 Snakes pirates. It's not a big deal. Yi Zhou took out the kettle and drank some water. Crocodile also came up empty-handed. Who would have thought that Alabasta recorded the Pluton driving method and location? The Seven Waters capital retains the drawings and production techniques. The real Pluton is hidden in the country of Wano where Kaido is entrenched. At the port, the Empress and Khalifa bought their favorite spices. In order to protect myself from the sun, I not only put on a windbreaker but also wrapped myself up tightly. Even the Empress specifically changed to black stockings. Yi Zhou was speechless that the deputy captain helped to position the camel on the grounds of protecting the captain. He didn't care, he just felt that the road was a little bumpy, and the Empress could help block the wind and sand. There was also a faint fragrance coming from the hair along the way. Arrive. The long line of camels came to an abrupt end. Albana. The desert is made up of huge rocks, and a city is built on top of them. In comparison, Alabasta's map is huge. The journey takes days. In the Grand Line and the New World, this area is definitely considered a vast territory. Set foot on the capital city. Yi Zhou felt the dry atmosphere brought by this city. Base. In the town, there have already been secretly watching eyes on the streets and alleys. When we arrived at the real palace, it was another long flight of stairs. Yi Zhou took a step forward and heard footsteps. Stop. The king's guards were already standing on both sides of the road. In fact, the moment Yi Zhou's pirate ship arrived at Alabasta, the news spread to the capital. Demon King Yi Zhou has arrived here. On the stairs, Cobra and others have been waiting for a long time. Even if you are a big pirate, don't think that we can hand over the kingdom to others. This place is experiencing a once-in-a-lifetime drought. But we believe that the rain will eventually come. How could Cobra be afraid of Yi Zhou? He is the king of Alabasta. Shish. Yi Zhou stepped forward, Conqueror's domineering power swept out. In the blink of an eye, all the guards, including Bell of the Falcon and Yaka of the Jackal, were stunned to the ground. Cobra was already alone when he saw this scene. Father. Vivi walked out of the palace, spinning the wheel in her hand, staring at Yi Zhou without fear. Your Highness. Ikaram panicked and tried to protect him behind him. Get out of here, Vivi. Cobra will definitely fight to the end even if he is alone. From now on, Yi Zhou appeared in front of King Cobra in an instant. I claim this island as mine. Vivi, become my ship's doctor. Cobra and Ikaram were both confused. Want Vivi to be the ship's doctor? Absolutely impossible. You guys don't even think about me becoming a pirate. Vivi jumped up. The Empress and Khalifa blocked its attack with one click. The main chain mission has been completed. Crew complement plan 1, looking for ship's doctor. Mission reward. Black Shadow Core Spur Blade. Yi Zhou snapped his fingers. Black Shadow Ninjas, Shadow Warriors, and black-clad thorn blades all appeared inside and outside the palace. The main chain mission has been started. Crew Complement Plan 2. Occupy Alabasta, expel the Sand Crocodile in the Rainland and the Baroque Studio. Mission reward. The demonic chi of water full version includes water calling formation. Yi Zhou remembers that the demonic energy of water can be replaced by the body of water, which can be regarded as a logia. It is truly unique in the world of pirates. However, you can use water magic energy yourself, but if you want to summon a large amount of water, you need to draw a formation. The more water there is, the more terrifying the owner of the water's demonic energy becomes. I reject. How could Vivi agree to become the pirate's ship's doctor? What's more, Alabasta has been experiencing severe drought for 2 consecutive years. The climate is strange and must be guarded by the royal family. Whatever you want, see you later. Yi Zhou saw that the system mission did not require that Vivi must be taken away now. There is no worry at all. Instead he picked up the tourist map he bought at the port. The rainy ground is in this direction, right? He said and turned away. The Empress and Khalifa had no doubt that they would obey the captain's orders. On the contrary, Cobra and Vivi were a little confused. What about that fierce look just now, where he wanted to kill all of them and force Vivi to board the ship? Why don't you even bother to look at them? Are you humiliating me? Vivi stared at Yi Zhou angrily. No, I have something urgent, I'll see you later. Oh, by the way, those shadows are my subordinates, they are very nice people. From now on, this palace will be my second palace after 9 Snakes Island. You can live here, but I have no control over the salaries of these guards. Goodbye, my ship's Dr. Vivi. Yi Zhou is nothing but polite. As he left, the Shadow Corps quickly hid in the darkness. Not only Alabasta, but also 9 Snakes Island has a large number of Black Shadow troops left. We'll take action when necessary. I don't want to be your ship's doctor. No way. Vivi stared at Yi Zhou's back and said fiercely. She didn't understand, what was the purpose of this man? Your Majesty the King, is Demon King Yi Zhou going to put you under house arrest? Ikaram said worriedly. I don't know, but judging from the appearance of the Empress, it doesn't seem like she was forced to surrender as rumored. Cobra was also confused in his heart. Are they really under house arrest? Hateful. Vivi decisively summons the Karu duck when she gets angry. Vivi, Cobra and Ikaram looked worried. I will never let him have his way. Vivi chased out, forcing Cobra and Ikaram to follow closely. What kind of medicine is contained in Yi Zhou gourd? Cobra and the other 2 didn't understand. Until they caught up with Yi Zhou's camel team. The former was moving forward unswervingly towards the rainy land, without any intention of explaining to them. Vivi is protected by Cobra and Ikaram in the middle. He stared at Yi Zhou and chased him to the camel. Are you going to put us under house arrest? Aren't you coming out now? Why did I put you under house arrest? Yi Zhou feels that Vivi is unreasonable and has no logical thinking. Vivi blushed and asked. Then where are you going? Is it your conspiracy to capture our Alabasta? Conspiracy? Didn't I just rob it openly? How did it become a conspiracy? You insult my profession. I am not a counselor, I am a pirate. Yi Zhou handed the map to the Empress. Go full steam ahead, Rainland. The Empress, beautiful eyes glared at the camel that was walking slowly. The latter instantly moved like flying. Rainland, what are you doing there? What's your relationship with me? Are you the ship's doctor? Yi Zhou glanced at Vivi. We have no relationship. Then you don't have the right to know what I'm going to do. Vivi was stunned by this sentence. She saw Yi Zhou and others hurrying away, so she had no choice but to follow them. Today I have to see what conspiracy Yi Zhou has. The camel walked swiftly, much faster than usual, and it only took half a day to reach the rainy land. It's quite nice here, but it's too hot. It would be nice if there was a natural lake. Yi Zhou suddenly felt that the demonic energy of water was a good thing. In the future he has to open a water park in Alabasta. Rainy ground. Alabasta has been in a severe drought for several years. When Yi Zhou arrived here, he didn't expect that a water park had already been built here. Life is pretty good here. Didn't you say that Alabasta has been experiencing drought for many years? Why are there signs of rain here? Yi Zhou remembers that in Alabasta, except for the capital city, it has not rained in 3 years. Crocodile drove away the pirates in a heroic manner. And word spread that the reason why it rained only in the capital was because King Cobra used dancing powder. There is no rain in most areas. The rainy areas here are special. Vivi said calmly. Hiss. Yi Zhou paused. He sorted out the timeline and found that there were still 4 years left before 1520 in the Hainan calendar. In other words, the 3-year drought has not yet begun. It's just that Alabasta is prone to drought. Before Crocodile's complete layout was successful, there was no real severe drought. You're here early. The Sand Crocodile is still a hero in name only. Crocodile returned to the Grand Line a year ago and became the hero who saved Alabasta. It became 7 warlords of the sea only a few months ago. When all the timelines were sorted out, Yi Zhou was helpless. The timeline of his arrival is really embarrassing. No matter, I am the devil. Yi Zhou waved his hand, and all the crew members took action, defeating all Crocodile's subordinates. Crocodile is the hero of Alabasta. But his Baroque studio has no idea who its boss is. Except for Robin's knowledge, Sand Crocodile has always hidden his identity. Crocodile, Yi Zhou shouted with a loud voice. It has disrupted all Crocodile's plans. From the time he landed in Alabasta, took possession of the capital, until he reached the Rainlands. Crocodile hiding here has already been furious. His plan has just begun. Became a hero, 7 warlords of the sea. The next step is to use the dancing powder to capture Alabasta, and then let Robin find the royal family's secret place and find Pluton. Everything was planned so perfectly. A Yi Zhou happened to appear and directly occupied Alabasta. This also made it difficult for him to proceed with his next plan. The wind and sand condense into entities. Crocodile looked at Yi Zhou with a look of despair. Why do you know I'm here? I will meet when say hockey. Yi Zhou doesn't blush even if he talks nonsense. Your intelligence and domineering ability can detect me far away in the rainy land and hiding in the underground secret room from the moment I step into the port. Sand Crocodile cursed loudly. I'm sorry, I'm done with Alabasta. Yi Zhou also felt sorry for the Sand Crocodile. But pirates have always been evil. You are a reckless guy who doesn't know how to think with your brain. Occupying Alabasta means you will become the enemy of the world government. Crocodile wanted to kill Yi Zhou. I'm already their enemy. Yi Zhou answered honestly. As he spoke, he had used the chicken charm to control all the water in the rainy land. Seeing this scene, Crocodile couldn't bear it anymore. I heard that your devil fruit replicates the abilities of various fruits. No, I didn't eat a devil fruit. Yi Zhou told the truth, he didn't want Crocodile to be hurt anymore. You fart. Crocodile's arm turned into flying sand. He was fed up with Yi Zhou telling lies. Desert sword. Desert water knife. Yi Zhou was too lazy to name it, he was really not good at it. The water of Yudi was in his hand, and with a flick of his hand, it was covered with armed domineering energy, and he slashed through it. You stole my moves. Crocodile was so angry that he felt dizzy. Oh, then I'll have another one. Yi Zhou imitated Huang Yuan's movements and stood in the air. All the water condensed around him, spinning at high speed. The water blade covered with armament color is extremely sharp. Ba Kai Chong Go Shui. I am going to kill you. Crocodile couldn't bear it anymore. This was Kizaru's famous move. Yi Zhou copied and pasted it completely and only changed one word. Boom. Yi Zhou punched out, hitting Crocodile right in the abdomen. 2 colors of domineering entanglement, the power is terrifying. Cough. Crocodile vomited a mouthful of black blood. Is he already so weak? This punch made him unable to bear it. Not only is it domineering, there is also flame wrapped around the fist, forming a flaming dog head. Dark Hound. Yi Zhou said the last word. A pillar of fire suddenly erupted from Crocodile's back. He coughed dryly and fell down completely powerless. You are indeed a clone who ate the clone fruit. Sand Crocodile, you talk a lot. Yi Zhou walked past him. Crocodile turned into a crocodile with white eyes. The monkey talisman works well every time you try it. Wow, the water was no longer controlled by Yi Zhou and fell from the sky. Cobra couldn't help but feel distressed when he saw this scene. Yi Zhou strode forward in the rain. He was originally going to grow hands as white as jade, but he was too domineering and failed. Then many hands began to grow under his feet trying to stop him. Robin, the son of the devil, walked out of the dark alley, and she could no longer hide. Yi Zhou immediately locked onto her after he solved Crocodile just now. I can cooperate with you and tell you some secrets that any pirate would want to know. Robin said, she must not die here. I have a request. Yi Zhou looked at her, which made Robin feel a little nervous. You can mention it. Over the years, she has been running away and is used to it. Robin, be my masseuse. Nani. Robin had thought that Yi Zhou would invade Alabasta so quickly. There must be some ulterior purpose. Maybe he came here because of Pluton's secret. Unexpectedly, he just invited her to become a masseuse. For the health of the crew. My Demon King pirates desperately need a masseur. Your flowers and fruits are so suitable. Quote, after Yi Zhou finished speaking. Robin didn't even know how to answer. This was the first time she encountered such an incredible strength. Even the great pirate Crocodile of the 7 warlords of the sea was easily defeated. Uproot the undercover CP9 in the capital of 7 waters. The Sabayati archipelago executes the celestial dragons. Faced with Buster Call, he was not afraid of danger and defeated the 2 generals so that they dare not show up now. Such existence. You actually just want to recruit her as a masseuse. Can I ask a question? Robin looked at Khalifa. What does she do? Shipmaker. Sure enough, it's so cute. Robin lowered her head and was silent for a moment. She felt that joining the Demon King pirates would be the best decision she made in her life. The scheming Robin always manages to find cute spots in inexplicable places. Cobra, Vivi, and Ikaram, who witnessed this scene with their own eyes, stood there blankly. They feel that their outlook on life has collapsed. It is an illusion that their breathing is stagnant and their brains cannot think. A bounty has been placed on Khalifa, who claims she is a traitor to CP9. This kind of person actually works as a shipwright. Robin, the son of the devil, has been on a bounty since he was a child. He is an O'Hara survivor and wants to be a masseur. They were speechless and even began to think about what Yi Zhou had said before. Are those words literal? Yi Zhou walked towards the rainy ground and threw out bags of dancing powder. Pull out Crocodile's Baroque studio information. See the contact information of each member above. One by one, the shadow ninjas and the stabbing blades left. Soon, Baroque Studio will be completely defeated, and then the mission will be completed. This is. Cobra picked up the dancing powder, and then picked up the secret information of Baroque Studio. Everyone suddenly realized, the reason why Crocodile wants to save Alabasta and drive away the pirates is because of an unimaginable conspiracy. He looked at Yi Zhou's back, feeling extremely shocked in his heart. Could it be that he is too wise and foolish? I'm going to build a fountain here, which should be a lake, and a water park. Your royal family will collect the tickets for me when the time comes. From now on, except for the spices, the ticket collection will be your responsibility. Quote. Yi Zhou said. The system prompt finally sounded in my ears. The main chain mission has been completed. Crew replenishment plan 2, capture Alabasta. Mission reward. The demonic chi of water full version includes water calling formation. Yi Zhou swallowed the demonic energy of water in one gulp. The magic of Bazaar also came to mind. The main chain mission has been started. Crew complement plan 3. Using water magic for the first time, inviting Robin and Vivi to become crew members. Task reward. Advanced knowledge, color and domineering power super long range. A huge dragon tail grew out from behind Yi Zhou, and he quickly drew it on the ground. Then he muttered something, ignoring everyone's gaze. Soon, more and more water emerged from the formation. This unscientific scene made Cobra completely lose his sense of self. Are devil fruits so outrageous? He couldn't help but think of Yi Zhou's words just now. Build a water park, and the royal family would collect the entrance fees for it. He was surprised and delighted when he thought of this. It's fresh water, it's fresh water. There's nothing wrong with charging tickets, even if Crocodile's conspiracy was exposed and failed. Only a few places in Alabasta are oases, and rain is still scarce. But Yi Zhou brought a lot of fresh water. What, you like sea water? It's okay, I can still summon you. By the way, you can transform Alabasta into Atlantis and sink it to the bottom of the sea. Quote. The water demon Bazaar was once the overlord of the sea and rivers. No, 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 that's great, let's build a water park here. Lord Yi Zhou, the Alabasta royal family, will do our best. I will also pay a certain amount of money for this fresh water. Cobra said happily. Demon King Yi Zhou has been known to the world since his name was spread in the capital of Seven Waters. Whatever, just the normal price. Yi Zhou looked at Vivi and invited her again. Become my ship's doctor, just like this fresh water, turn it into the new hope of this world. I also like adventure, but if this kingdom doesn't have me, it will definitely. Vivi decisively refused, and she still had responsibilities. She also wants to take risks, but without her, what will Alabasta do in the future? Her father is getting old day by day, how can he be willing to work hard? First of all, Alabasta is my kingdom. Your father doesn't need to be very tired in the future. His main job is to collect water park tickets. Quote, Yi Zhou patted Vivi on the shoulder. Secondly, if you don't go to sea, immediately I will summon the sea water and sink Alabasta to the bottom of the sea. Don't even think about charging tickets for your dad. Quote, are you threatening me? Vivi looked at Yi Zhou with burning eyes. Well, do you want to be a crocodile or an eagle? Yi Zhou pointed at the unconscious sand crocodile. Just like a real crocodile. I'm willing to come on board. Vivi's eyes dimmed. She knew that she did not have the capital to negotiate with Yi Zhou. If she doesn't agree, not only Vivi will turn into a crocodile, but her father, King Cobra, will also turn into a crocodile. Yi Zhou's notoriety is enough to make a child stop crying. Ding! A system beep rang in my ears. Yi Zhou smiled contentedly. Okay, you're free, get off the boat. The main chain mission has been completed. Crew Complement Plan 3, inviting Robin and Vivi to become crew members. Task Reward. Advanced Knowledge, Color and Domineering Power Super Long Range. Now Yi Zhou can really see the rainy land from the port of Alabasta. The main chain mission has been started. Crew Replenishment Plan 4. Go to the East China Sea, find a female swordsman wearing glasses, and invite her to go to sea. Task Reward. Thunder Fruit. Once Enel dies, the Thunder Fruit will become available. Yi Zhou was very satisfied with this reward. But I still have to go to the East China Sea. Once his mission is completed, there will naturally be no need to take Vivi out to sea. What's the point if you have to face a bitter look all day long? I got off the boat. Vivi doesn't understand, she hasn't officially gone to sea yet. He left the Demon King pirates. Yes, you have disembarked. Yi Zhou turned around and said, we need to replenish supplies here and set off in 3 days. Vivi was left alone and confused. Royal Palace. After returning home, Vivi became even more distraught. She didn't understand how Yi Zhou's brain worked. The more Vivi thought about it, the angrier she became. She wanted to punch Yi Zhou right now. Ikaram, Belle, and Yaka all came to persuade her. Demon King Yi Zhou is a moody person. But Vivi couldn't listen. Instead, she had an idea in her heart, go to sea. She must go to sea, and this bad breath must be fought back. The underground passage behind the palace. Cobra was desperate, the secret that their royal family had guarded for generations was about to be revealed. But he had no choice, Yi Zhou could destroy countless people's homes at any time. Robin was looking at the historical text here and said to Yi Zhou, what is recorded here is the whereabouts of Pluton. In her opinion, Pluton will definitely arouse Yi Zhou's interest. Oh, there's no need to look for it. Yi Zhou took out a drawing. It's just Pluton. When we have time, we can go directly to the Seven Waters capital to build one. Cobra, who was still sad at first, and Robin, who wanted to use Yi Zhou to take further risks, were both dumbfounded. This is why I was hunted down by CPE-9 in the capital of Seven Waters. Yi Zhou handed it to Cobra. Are you interested? How about building 2 boats, one for you and one for me? Cobra looked at the drawings and raised the corners of his mouth. He smiled. All the worries in my heart turned into ashes and were meaningless. Ha 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 ha, are there really people in this world who are not interested in Pluton? To be precise, Mr. Bingshan in the Seven Rivers City didn't dare to build it. Yi Zhou was helpless. How much else do you know about historical texts? Robin discovered for the first time that her calculations were meaningless. The sea will give us the answer. Yi Zhou laughed. his adventure had just begun. Robin, like Cobra, looked at Yi Zhou with shock. 3 days later, the Demon King pirates set out to sea. Robin officially becomes a crew member, and Vivi sneaks in secretly. Cobra laughed heartily in the worried eyes of the ministers. That's the devil among pirates. Princess Vivi will be in danger if she gets on that guy's ship. That's good, let us hide under the devil's light for a while. On the route to the East China Sea, Yi Zhou looked at Vivi in front of him. Don't you want to go to sea? I want to go to sea. I will go back in 3 years. You can't keep me. Vivi turned her head to the other side. Whatever you want, Vivi ship's doctor, I've given you this devil fruit, please develop it well. Yi Zhou threw the diseased fruit to Vivi. It tastes so bad. Vivi's expression was bitter. She stood up and looked in the direction of Alabasta with tears streaming down her face. I'm going to sea, little crybaby. Yi Zhou's words stopped Vivi's crying. She took another bite of the diseased fruit to help herself adapt to life on the sea as soon as possible. When he looked at Yi Zhou, the latter had already fallen asleep on the deck. The sea breeze blows. This year Vivi is still waiting for adventure. Soon, news that the Demon King pirates have taken over Alabasta spreads throughout the Grand Line. What shocked the world was that not even the body of the former 7 warlords of the sea, Crocodile, was left. A week later, the Crocodile pirates were established. The captain is a crocodile, and is said to have eaten the devil fruit of Crocodile, the former 7 warlords of the sea. Whiskey Island. After passing by, Yi Zhou and his party did not stay too much. They arrived at Twin Points. Laboon and Kurokas live here, quietly waiting for Brook. This is also where the Grand Line is reached, except for the windless zone. If you want to go to the East China Sea from here, you are undoubtedly going backwards. Yi Zhou stretched out, preparing to either fly over or accelerate the Demon King at full speed. Hey, are you new here? It's very difficult to go to Seahai from here. Kurokas saw Yi Zhou and his party, and also saw the pirate ship. Of course he also reads newspapers, but as the ship's doctor of the Roger Pirates. I have followed the adventure for 3 years, and I have never seen any big storms or waves. No matter how loud the reputation of Demon King Yi Zhou is, it can't scare him. Uncle, is there only one way from here to the East China Sea? Of course, kid, do you want to go to the windless zone to feed the fish? Kurokas walked towards Laboon and stopped answering. Laboon called out after seeing Yi Zhou, and continued to wait quietly for the arrival of the promised person. Strangeness. Yi Zhou paused. Wasn't Admiral Creek of the East China Sea being chased by Hawkeye and escaping from the Grand Line back to the East China Sea? It's impossible to go to a windless zone. Yi Zhou quickly put this question behind him. Just think of it as Crick Heaven defying. After all, the combatant under his command, Agent, could be anyone so far. Uncle, goodbye, not see, Kurokas complained. Yi Zhou put one hand on the Demon King and accelerated with all his strength. With the blessing of the rabbit talisman, you can go upstream just as fast. Whoosh! The Demon King almost turned into a rabbit and quickly disappeared from sight. Seeing this scene, Laboon's big eyes widened. Nani? Kurokas was stunned for a second and couldn't help but sigh that life is terrible. Devil fruits are really weird. East China Sea. The Demon King was built with the outstanding craftsmanship of Bingshan and others, and it did not fall apart. Yi Zhou put his hands on his waist and looked at his crew. The Vice Captain Empress, a user with the Sweet Fruit ability, and 3-color Domineering Spirit. And led a group of Domineering fighters. Masur Robin, a user with the Flower Fruit ability, has not yet awakened his domineering power and is still learning. He had questions about Yi Zhou in his heart. Shipwright Khalifa, 9-tails fox form of the phantom beast species, 6th form of marine, is learning hockey and is making rapid progress. Privately learning the shipwright's trade. Ship Dr. Vivi, a person with the disease fruit ability, studies medicine while becoming stronger. What she is most concerned about is how to develop diseased fruits, leaving Yi Zhou with no cure. See this strong and reliable crew. Yi Zhou understands. Without a crew member who knows how to use a sword, his adventure would be meaningless. So, he came. Donghai, Rog Town. It is called the place of beginning and end. One Piece Roger was born here and ended here. Log in. Yi Zhou gave an order, and the mighty and turbulent Demon King pirates set foot on Rog Town. It also quickly attracted the siege of many naval soldiers. He didn't intend to waste time here, one conqueror's hockey stunned them all. Until he reached the execution platform. Yi Zhou looked at this place. As Roger who started the great pirate era, how should he be judged by future generations in this life? As a marine, I would definitely find it extremely disgusting. As a pirate, Yi Zhou couldn't help but smile. If one day, he feels tired while traveling in the heavens and the worlds, will it also open up a great era of the heavens? Look back. The Demon King pirates have occupied the square. Only 2 figures remained. Smoker, swordsman Dusky. As this Lady Dasky, how about I invite you to go out to sea and become a swordsman on my ship? What are you talking about? You evil pirate. Dasky's sword pointed at Yi Zhou. Back off, this guy's strength is quite terrifying, and the bounty on his head is as high as 2 billion Baileys. Smoker protected Dasky behind him, and smoke began to rise from his body. What did I do wrong? Have I ever killed an innocent person? Yi Zhou spread his palms. He didn't like groundless accusations. You killed the celestial dragon. Dusky retorted. The celestial dragons are not good people. You still. Dasky hesitated to speak, as if Yi Zhou was right. Thank you very much. Yi Zhou and Dasky thanked him. The system prompts also sounded in my ears. Ding. The main chain mission has been completed. Crew replenishment plan 4, invite Dasky to go to sea. Task reward, thunder fruit. Yi Zhou took a hand at the thunder fruit and immediately pocketed it. New tasks are also refreshed quickly. The main chain mission has been started. Crew replenishment plan 5, looking for a master electrician, she lives in Cocoa West Village. Task reward, 1 billion Bailey's navigation reserve. Bailey, not bad. Yi Zhou is born with a strong and direct character. When he is full of soft rice, he likes to take 2 bites of hard rice. I always rely on the Empress and Vivi to take care of me, and my stomach as well. Go to sea. Yi Zhou got the mission reward, turned around and left. Don't even think about it. Smoker holds a large 10-hand made of seafloor stone and turns into a puff of smoke. White fist. Boom. Yi Zhou turned his head and punched him. 2-color domineering entanglement, seeing and hearing the color to find the true body. The power of the punch turned into a powerful shock wave. Boom. Smoker's fists instantly lost power, and he flew backwards, hitting the wall. 1 punch and he lost consciousness. You will never be allowed to harm innocent people. Dasky slashed with his sword. Yi Zhou, who possesses the demonic energy of water, has no defense. Let this sword cut him in half. Yi Zhou turned into a ball of water, which made Dasky's pupils condense. A Logia user like Colonel Smoker. You kid, I just invited you, and I didn't say I would actually take you to sea. I wanted to kill you myself. Yi Zhou picked up Dasky and carried it on his shoulders. Let me go. Dasky tried her best to attack but it had no effect. See this scene. Vivi immediately glared at Yi Zhou and said, what a bad guy. He grabs everyone he sees. Why is it that the person taken away by the captain is not my concubine? The Empress said very jealously. Beautiful women see the same thing. Khalifa is a little shy. A mere shipwright is worthy of being compared with my concubine. The Empress boarded the ship arrogantly, making Khalifa so angry that she wanted to take action, but she would never bear it if she could fight him. What's going on with your little heads? Vivi didn't understand this scene. Only Robin was thinking silently. She had been wondering what Yi Zhou's purpose was in coming to the East China Sea. Yi Zhou, who is so powerful, must have been practicing dormantly for many years. There must be an ulterior purpose. This time I came to Roger Town and visited the place where Roger was executed. Robin also confirmed his thoughts in his heart. Yi Zhou really has big ambitions. Is he going to the final island to become One Piece? Or overturn the world and become the king of the world? In Robin's heart, Yi Zhou has become a rare careerist. His strength is unfathomable and his heart is extremely dark. East China Sea, Windmill Village. Garp is chatting with Sengoku through the phone bug. Demon King Yi Zhou went to the East China Sea, after he appeared in Rog Town. Smoker has been sent to mainland Marineford for treatment. After our discussion, only you can go to negotiate with him and become the 7 warlords of the sea. Garp replied solemnly. Nani, how could such a vicious guy become the 7 warlords of the sea? Warring states, are you dreaming? If you don't beat him down, you won't be able to talk calmly for the rest of your life. Quote. Boom. Garp walked towards the port. He was going to deal with Yi Zhou himself. Coco West Village. He has been entrenched by the Aran pirates for many years, and here he can be said to be the local emperor who keeps his word. Yi Zhou's Demon King pirate ship docked. Use his sniper's ultra-long distance vision and domineering power to sweep them all away. No trace of Nami was found. Have you gone to sea? Yi Zhou yawned and planned to rest here for the day. Sir, our village has been occupied by pirates. It will be very dangerous to stay here, and you will face the threat of death at any time. Please leave as soon as possible. The villagers quickly came forward to persuade him. In this ordinary town, many people have not yet realized that the Yi Zhou in front of them is definitely not a being that Aran can mess with. The one who really should escape should be the Arlong pirates. Can't you see, I am also a pirate. When it comes to cheating, I've always been the biggest. Quote. Yi Zhou pointed to the Demon King behind him, and the pirate flag moved in the wind. Our Kokoyashi village has always been occupied by the Arlong pirates. Even if you are killed, no one will care. You are no match for them. Kensuke said with a confused look on his face. In his opinion, Yi Zhou's crew members are all girls and are no match for Aran. It's okay to go. Before that, let's replenish some supplies. Yi Zhou casually said that he had a lot of Baileys in his hand. Are you leaving after replenishing supplies? Uncle Kensuke said happily. He didn't want these innocent people to die because of this. Certainly. Yi Zhou nodded. Nachigeo also brought a large number of oranges from the orange grove. It would be better if it could be exchanged for a little Bailey. Today is another day for Aran to collect money. Empress, Khalifa has already noticed something is wrong here. In the course of trade, Vivi and Robin learned the truth from Nami's sister Nokigao. Dasky was furious after hearing this. She didn't expect that such a thing actually existed in the most peaceful East China Sea. Aran. Dasky held the knife in his hand and looked at Nochigao firmly. I'm Marine, tell me where the Arlong pirates are. The villagers also looked at him. Marine, but aren't you a pirate? Kensuke glanced at Dasky and pointed at Yi Zhou's pirate flag. It's a long story, but I'm definitely a Marine. Dasky sounded determined. She would definitely deal with Aran and his gang. Khalifa also took a step forward after hearing this. Just break their necks. Robin narrowed his eyes and smiled, and said something extremely sinister. Lord Yi Zhou, please let me crush them all into ashes. The Empress took a step forward, her slender and perfect figure wrapped in a cheongsam. Yi Zhou, come with us to deal with that guy. Vivi held Yi Zhou's hand, which was peeling an orange. Aran is just rubbish, no need to spend a lot of time on it. Yi Zhou dropped a piece of orange in his mouth. Seeing and hearing say Baki had already predicted Aran's arrival. The villagers began to dissuade him. They were very happy to meet Yi Zhou just before Aran cut the leaks. In exchange for a Pele, a lot of burden can be relieved. Nami is back. At this moment, a figure appeared from the sea and returned in a small boat. No time, Nami seemed to be holding a bag of gold coins in his hand. He even glanced at Yi Zhou as he passed by. It seems that a lot of gold coins were stolen from the sea. She must hide these gold coins before Aran arrives. Nami. Vivi looked in the direction where Nami was running. It always feels like I've seen her somewhere. She shook her head and thought how could it be possible, this was her first time coming to the East China Sea. Are you ready? Pele and gold coins are fine, don't waste my time, not a penny less. Is there a pirate ship? Just stay. Aran and his group appeared at the entrance of the village in a swaggering manner. I immediately spotted the quite good treasure ship Demon King. At another glance, except for Yi Zhou, they were all beauties. It was even more eye-catching. Boy, is this ship yours? Aran looked at Yi Zhou, who was squatting on the ground peeling orange peels. What, you trash have any objections? Court death. Aran's words made the villagers look pale. They didn't want their benefactor to be in danger like this. Guy, how dare you show up in our Coco West village, leave all your valuables behind. Nami appeared in front of Yi Zhou and punched him. Only by driving Yi Zhou away can she save his life. Nami, Yi Zhou easily grabbed Nami's wrist, which was as cold and delicate as mutton fat jade. Come to sea with me and become a master electrician on my ship. Aha! Nami's eyes widened. She never expected that Yi Zhou would dare to say such things in front of Eren. You are dead. Eren punched Yi Zhou, but his fist was burned by the flames. Yi Zhou's whole body was seen swelling, like a dragon, wrapped in flames. Who is the dragon now? Yi Zhou looked at Eren with a smile. Animal-type ability user. Eren didn't know who Yi Zhou was. When did the East China Sea have such a famous figure? You'd better ask Belmir. Yi Zhou punched out straight away. Eren's spiky nose was broken. The head exploded like a gourd. Plasma all over the floor. A tall fishman corpse fell to the ground. Nami trembled instinctively when she saw this scene. Her nightmare was over. Ding! The main chain mission has been completed. Crew Replenishment Plan 5, find the electrician Nami. Task reward, 1 billion Bailey's navigation reserve. Yi Zhou heard the pleasant system prompt tone. He had already guessed the next mission. The main chain mission has been started. Crew Replenishment Plan 6, invite Nami to go to sea and repel the first enemy encountered. Task reward, the demonic chi of the wind full version. ... Oh, inviting Nami to go to sea was a task that Yi Zhou expected. How could he repel the enemy? What enemy? Yi Zhou saw and heard that his domineering aura was swept away, and he did not find any enemy aura. Faced with this mess, the Empress, Robin, Khalifa, and Dasky quickly cleared the place. The Eren pirates were wiped out in an instant. That's Eren. Nami's eyes widened in disbelief. Of course, you have to become stronger yourself. Yi Zhou rubbed Nami's hair. Let's go, let's destroy Eren's paradise. The villagers followed Yi Zhou and soon arrived at Eren's paradise. Why does this look like the slave auction house in the Sabayati Islands? The Empress said in confusion. This is a person who was bullied by a strong man and did not dare to take revenge. The story of bullying other weak people instead. Quote. Yi Zhou punched out, raising the entire Eren paradise to the ground. Nami, come to the sea with me and become my master electrician. Nami stared blankly at the ruins and finally smiled. I have to do one other thing first. Nami pressed her hand on the tattoo on her shoulder. Clear. Yi Zhou threw out a thunder fruit. Compared to the thunder and lightning demonic energy, the thunder fruit seems ordinary. Here you go, it will make you a better electrician. Nami took a bite and immediately said in disgust, it tastes terrible. And what I'm good at is sailing. Really? Then you can work part-time. Yi Zhou yawned. The angry Nami rolled her eyes at him and turned towards the town. That night, everyone feasted and had a grand banquet party. The next day, when the sun shines on Kokoja village. After people bid farewell to Yi Zhou and others with tears, a newspaper bird flew over. In order to collect enough Baileys to give to Eren, they are not willing to spend Baileys to buy newspapers. There is finally no need to worry from now on. The mayor specially bought a newspaper and opened the first page happily. The catchy headline is, Demon King Yi Zhou captured Alabasta, and the bounty was increased to 2.2 billion belly. Is it true that Yi Zhou is such a big shot? It won't be long before Nami will be rewarded too. What a great captain to follow. ... At this time, a figure wearing a dog head hat quietly walked out of a wooden house. Although he was old but still strong, he looked in the direction where Yi Zhou and others left and walked towards the other side of the town. With his speed in gathering friends and his style of doing things, is he the same as Roger? You still have to try it with my fist. Quote. The old man stepped onto the battleship and decisively began to pursue. Lieutenant General Bogart immediately stepped forward and asked. Lieutenant General Garp, the bounty on Demon King Yi Zhou has been increased by another 200 million Baileys. Do we still want to pursue such a big pirate? Of course, who do you think I am? Garp picked his nose, looking nonchalant. Lieutenant General Garp, Warring States Fleet Admiral came to the phone bug. He hopes that you can try not to do anything and make some transactions with Yi Zhou. It is even necessary to invite her to become the new 7 warlords of the sea, and then the identity of the Empress can be restored. Bogart's words only elicited a laugh from Garp. Sengoku is a real guy. He should understand that such a young and ambitious guy can never rely on others. Garp looked towards the sea and gave a decisive order. Pursuit. On the sea restaurant. After Yi Zhou and others arrived, the atmosphere here seemed particularly weird. Zapu and others often read newspapers, and when they saw Yi Zhou for the first time, they felt like they were facing an enemy. Unexpectedly, Yi Zhou and others just came to eat. A billion Baileys. Nami was pleasantly surprised that the Demon King actually had 1 billion Baileys as navigation reserves. Vivi and others were immersed in the delicious food. Yi Zhou ate one piece after another, and soon the table was covered with plates. Beautiful ladies, please allow me to serve you this meal myself. Sanji was walking among the crowd, and when he learned that all the beauties were Yi Zhou's crew, his expression almost twisted. You are so enviable, Nami-san, Robin-chan, Vivi-chan, I feel like we should get to know each other. Your Majesty the Empress, you truly live up to your name. Sanji was extremely happy at this moment. Yi Zhou felt very emotional that Sanji, who had not experienced the devastation of the transvestite island, was really the perfect personality of a gentleman and chivalry. After experiencing the delicious food, Yi Zhou stood up decisively. It was time for him to set sail. Where are you going? When Yi Zhou saw Dasky, he couldn't help but snap his fingers. I need to stay away from you, you monster. Well, it seems there is nothing to force. Yi Zhou waved goodbye to Dasky and gave her a small canoe. An angry Dasky had to row the boat alone. The treasure ship Demon King in his eyes gradually faded away. She paddled for an hour before she heard the sound of battleships riding the wind and waves. When he turned around, 3 warships just stopped behind him. Come aboard, sailor. Bogart said hello. The battleship of Marine Headquarters. Dasky happily boarded the ship. What are you doing here? I'm chasing a group of pirates. Dasky said happily. In a corner of the deck, Garp was sitting on a deck chair taking a nap. Really, we are also chasing a group of pirates. It's a pity that we can't help you. Bogart believed that they were definitely not chasing the same group of pirates. What a pity, they most likely went to Upside Down Mountain and headed to the New World. Dasky clenched the sword in his hand. What a coincidence, the pirates we are chasing also went in that direction. Bogart quickly ordered all battleships to speed up. They must speed up now. Shortly after, Twin Point. The Demon King, which passed smoothly and arrived at the Grand Line, appeared in front of Laboon again. Laboon and our family have traveled around the world. Yi Zhou waved happily. Kuroka's looked at him helplessly and complained, crazy. Laboon stared at Yi Zhou with big eyes but was a little happy. Whoosh. At this moment, 3 battleships appeared in front of them. Kuroka's sensed a familiar aura and turned to look. On the leading battleship, the figure also looked at him and said hello. What an annoying guy. Kuroka's picked up the harpoon and stood in front of the lighthouse at Twin Points. On the contrary, Yi Zhou was the happiest. So my enemy is you. Yi Zhou was very happy when he saw Garp. He had been looking for enemies all day, but he didn't expect them to come to his door. So what about Garp? We will do the same. Dasky. Yi Zhou saw Dasky again standing next to Garp this time. As expected, you still came to see me. I'm here to chase you. Dasky was angry and annoyed, and she didn't expect that the person Bogart was going to chase happened to be Yi Zhou. More importantly, the owner of this ship is the famous Garp. Do you still want to escape? It's better to fight with your last resort, young man. Garp clenched his fists, waiting for Yi Zhou's answer. Of course it's a fight. There is nothing scary about Yi Zhou. Hero Garp, the father of dragons, a marine hero who has been crowned with many titles throughout his life. Robin analyzed carefully. I think I saw it when I went to the World Conference with my father when I was a child. Vivi thought about the scene in her memory. At that time, there was an old king of the Drum Kingdom who had a son who was very stupid and looked like a hippopotamus. Chased the Roger pirates countless times and forced Roger into desperate situations several times. In Khalifa's eyes, Garp is also invincible. Are we going to be enemies with the legend? Nami always felt a little scary. What she held in her hand was a long sword made of gold. The thunder fruit was easy to smelt. What's more, there are a lot of Baileys and gold on the ship. No matter how strong he is still an old guy. In my eyes, he is not even 1/10 of the captain. The Empress is so arrogant that there is nothing to be afraid of in her eyes. As one of the few female heroes with Conqueror's domineering power, how could she be afraid of power? It seems that your crew members are very confident in your strength. Garp jumped up and jumped directly to the Demon King. Sorry, my ship cannot become a battlefield. Yi Zhou snapped his fingers. The demonic energy of the water was activated, and the sea turned into a battlefield in an instant. It must not affect my crew. He stood in the sky. Thunder and lightning fell from the sky, turning into a huge cage intertwined with the sea water. It forms an unbreakable cage. The demonic energy of fire broke out, and his whole body was wrapped in domineering energy and flames. He looked at Garp, who showed no fear despite being among them. Did you copy Linlin's abilities? Garp said when he saw this scene. According to his information, Yi Zhou is a person with the ability to copy the fruit. And this scene is sea water, thunder and lightning, and fire. No matter how you look at it, it looks like Bigmom's soul fruit. Then you probably guessed wrong. Yi Zhou used both fists to support with all his strength. The rabbit charm and the cow charm are activated to the extreme at this moment. The three evil energies of water, fire, thunder and lightning. Lying, predicting the future, super long distance, and all the domineering powers are activated. I hate flying around when others are fighting. It's as annoying as the golden lion. Garp grinned and stepped on the water. Really, Garp. Everyone has their own time. And now, your time is over. Yi Zhou made a starting pose, with his feet on the sea water, slightly suspended in the air. Xingyiquan, Bangquan, saw. The two of them broke out in an instant and disappeared from everyone's sight. The next moment, the two appeared at the same time. The fists collided together, causing heavy waves. No one can step into this prison. Adjutant Bogard nervously held the railing and held a long sword in one hand. Garp is indeed powerful, but in his opinion, he is getting old after all. Yi Zhou, who has a bounty of 2.2 billion belly, is in the spotlight. The most important thing is that the mission is not to chase Yi Zhou. Instead, Garp was asked to invite Yi Zhou to have a talk with warring states. If you are willing to become the 7 warlords of the sea, just release the fruit abilities left on Akainu, Kizaru and others. How could the grumpy Garp endure it? This old man actually has such great strength. The Empress also had to admit that Garp was getting older, but his explosive momentum and domineering power were still terrifying. A blink of an eye. The two had punched each other hundreds of times. Happy, Garp appeared in a corner of the battlefield, domineering and full of fighting spirit in his eyes. He did not expect that Yi Zhou was already at the top level in the world in terms of domineering, speed and strength. Even compared to the legendary pirates at their peak. Over the years, Roger died, the golden lion disappeared, and Whitebeard drank all day long. There are fewer and fewer people who can fight with him. I never thought that I would encounter a young pirate with such great power in my lifetime. On the other side of the battlefield, Yi Zhou also didn't expect it. It seemed that he underestimated the true strongest combat power in the pirate world. No matter the domineering power, strength or speed, they are not at the human level. Garp is really getting stronger with age. What's more, Haki is above everything in the pirate world, and can even be immune to and restrained from devil fruits. If Yi Zhou were really a devil fruit user, he would be hard-pressed. He can't test it anymore, he must show his trump card. Your physical skills are very special, where did you learn them? Garp was more curious about Yi Zhou's physical skills. The physical technique called Xingyiquan is so varied that it is simply incredible to fight. I learned it from my hometown. Yi Zhou changed his posture again. 8 trigrams palms. Against the enemy again. Yi Zhou's whole body swelled. He transformed into the body of the Holy Lord, and the power of the Ox Talisman increased rapidly. Boom. Stepping on thunder under your feet acts as a propeller to accelerate. The hands are used to set off the flames, which also serve as a boost. In this case, using the rabbit charm will take your speed to a new level. As expected, as soon as the two of them fought, Yi Zhou moved one step faster. Garp also punched at the same time. What surprised Yi Zhou the most was Garp actually used Xingyiquan this time. Learned. Even if you only master the basic postures and routines, it is still surprising enough. Your physical skills have changed again. Garp was surprised by the momentum of 8 trigrams palms. He originally thought that he had reached the pinnacle of physical skills. It wasn't until I met Yi Zhou that I realized that there were more fully developed physical skills in the world. Every move seems to have been polished for a long time. Under normal circumstances, speed and strength determine everything. Any technique will be reduced to mere tricks. However, when the strength of two people is almost the same, then whoever has better skills will be the final winner. Your strength, speed, and skills all seem to be weaker than mine. Yi Zhou turned around and switched to Tai Chi stance. The breath also changes accordingly. Regarding the armed and domineering Lu Ying, he had long guessed that it was probably the Huajin and Anjin in Xuanwu. The usual domineering armament should belong to Ming Jin. But in the age of ending Dharma, when spiritual energy is thin, how can anyone cultivate to the state of transforming energy? Not to mention the physique, it is impossible to be the same as the monsters in the pirate world. After his continuous practice these days, he finally mastered it. Tai Chi, move, block and beat. The third physical technique. Garp was surprised that he could see a vague connection among the three physical techniques. But at this critical moment, it was his chest that withstood the blow. Without any time to think, the whole person flew out like a kite with a broken string. What power is this? Garp forced himself to stand still and asked. Effort. Yi Zhou's tone was decisive. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.